Oh, it just started, okay. Hmm. Alrighty, hello everybody. Hello, hello, hello. It is just going to be me and Bill this week, which is,
My condolences.
well, no. There are apparently rolling blackouts in South Africa because of a storm. So Spoon's
Of course, there's a
ability,
blackout. It's Africa.
right, but Spoon's access to electricity appears to be not great nor reliable. So he won't be on tonight. So just be me and Bill hanging out for a little bit. And there's been some funny stuff. Also, I am still very new at this multi-streaming thing, and I've set up the stream the same way for so many years that I forgot that I need to set up everything to go through Restream, typically. So we're just streaming on YouTube
Oh
tonight,
no!
which
We'll have
is
to go about 20 minutes of troubleshooting before the actual content begins. What a shame.
right. Well, it's I mean, there's always now when I'm reading it myself, I'm still getting used to all this stuff. Okay, like I'm having all the new intros and things like that I'm doing. So it is a learning process for me as well. But hopefully over time, and I do apologize for me being a bit dumb and not good at this stuff, but we'll get there eventually. However, there have been some pretty funny things that have been happening in the news, particularly in the last couple of days, at least in UK news, considering the mass calls for Keir Starmer to resign following just absolutely disastrous outcomes of the local elections that occurred this past week, in which both the Tories and Labour did not do well. Although, and particularly on the left, though, why I think they're so disconcerted about this, and AA brought it up in his video today, is that it wasn't like there were massive gains for the Lib Dems or the Greens. They did pick up some, but they didn't. There wasn't this big shift like I think people had been imagining there was going to be towards Lib Dems and Green.
It's actually mainly because the Muslims are running on independent tickets.
Well, or Green. I mean, Green has become the official, unofficial Muslim party. So there is that. But it's not panning out the way that I guess a lot of people kind of presumed that it would. Instead, no, it seems that the whole just broad sort of shift, the gestalt of the country is moving quite right-leaning, and it's going to end up being restore versus reform. I don't think, I don't really know.
Please enjoy the auto-balancing of teams as everyone shuffles
Yes,
out of the old
yes.
parties like an old cicada shell and wriggles into the new ones like parasites.
Well, I thought it would be more of a team shuffle. That's what I was kind of expecting, and I don't know right now. I don't know what a lot of these former Labour MPs are going to do.
As long as Eton exists, you'll just get to decide what colour boxing glove hits you.
Well,
rather than
for
which
sure.
fist.
For sure. So that has resulted in some very funny memes because people, of course, there's this massive call from Labour for Starmer to resign. So a lot of people on the right have been memeing about the 1,000-year Starmer Reich and, Chad Keir Starmer refuses to resign. It's been very funny on Twitter the last couple of days. In terms of U.S. news, most of the stuff is, this ongoing ceasefire with Iran, and now currently Trump is in China making, it looks like, big deals with China, which sort of fights and defeats the narrative that this is the entire war with Iran is really just a proxy war with China, because it seems that China is set to potentially win bigly from a lot of this. Not only have they been able to trade the entire time through the Strait of Hormuz, being a BRICS nation, and the title that we went with, All Bricked Up, is a dual purpose meme. One, bricks with no S, so brick, because we do not have our South African, and two, because Keir Starmer has come out as a proud gooner. So he is certainly all bricked up as well.
I hate existing. Every day I curse my faculties. I wish
Every day
Johnny
I
got
wake
his gun
up.
is a lucky son of a bitch. He gets to just be a torso. It is out of compassion, it is of mercy. He does
Starmer
not witness such
remaking
nightmares.
gay version of Downfall, indeed. Oh my. So, but there's been some funny stuff in the news in that sense.
Finally, downvote.
A downvote what? Oh,
I don't know if we can lick my ball.
well, why don't you sugma? How about that? I forgot to
Sorry,
take
I don't like Indian food.
I forgot to take a paracetamol before we started, and I told you I had a headache beforehand, and then I was so like rushing to get everything set up, and I still messed it up. I didn't take one yet. So
Remember, kids, drink clean every day.
that's good advice.
This is
Bill.
financial. This is
Financial advice,
for that.
yeah. Sound financial advice. Well, speaking of financial advice, of course, the state of at least the price of petrol in the country of gas, it has remained very much up. And instead of dealing with or caring, in his own words, thinking, spending time, devoting his time thinking about how the price of this war is felt at home, Trump said he doesn't think about it at all, as he myopically and obsessively focuses on these bizarre vanity projects, such as his ballroom, which he has doubled in size in its plans, building a giant golden statue of himself, which is biblical in a very bad way. And also, he was supposed to have these gold phones, and it seems like they're very much delayed. You are a total mark if you bought the Trump gold phone. I'm sorry, but if you would like to give me a bunch of money for some reason, please, at least, I'm not saying I'm going to give you anything for it besides reading super chats. I don't
would
know
include the line about the sword fund so that she doesn't get anything.
Oh yeah, sword fund. Well,
every penny toward the sword fund is a penny against these idiots.
that is met, by the way. We have reached the amount needed for the sword fund. So if you would...
By the way, we've now tracked down an actual functional executioner's sword that isn't complete dog
So you need
water.
an executioner sword on top of another sword?
No. This is the original intent was an executioner's sword, thus the purpose for it being, related to politics. The Zweihander was simply a kind of seat filler until we can find an actual functional executioner sword, which we have.
Nice.
So I linked earlier.
What else is going on? Oh, the Antichrist called the Pope the Antichrist. That was kind of interesting.
But Black Dynamite, they're both the Antichrist.
Peter Thiel called the Pope the Antichrist. I mean, that is the Antichrist calling the Pope the Antichrist. I don't know. Also, things are not going well for J.D. Vance, who has ties to Peter Thiel, the Antichrist. And then we've got some other news just in general in that the UK stuff is very deeply funny to me. The memes on Twitter have been... The Keir Starmer, Fashy Starmer memes have very much brightened my week. We'll talk a little bit about that shitty game Mixtape, only for one reason, which is that, of course, it's being astroturfed in terms of its coverage on all these normally sort of, woke, whatever you call it, progressive, left-wing gaming outlets. It's, of course, been getting very rave reviews for being, I don't know, progressive, but first of all, it's not a game. Secondly, it's funded by Larry Ellison's daughter, who gives a lot of money to the state of Israel.
She was the dev, and
yeah.
Larry funded it.
Was she she worked on it though, so yeah, Larry funded it, and it's like I have this PC Gamer article that
let's face it,
covering it from a left-wing perspective.
Rebecca Black's Friday, the game version.
Yes. So I have this PC.
Some bourgeois dickhead whose parents paid to get them in way further than they should have done in industry, purely by just funding it directly.
But I have this PC Gamer article where it's like, they're phrasing it. Oh, it's at the center of the culture war, and PC Gamer is aiming for their left wing audience, and so they have to put like one little paragraph in there to be like, oh yeah, by the way, it's funded by Larry Ellison, who's giving much money to Israel, but don't think too much about that. Which it's very funny to watch them do, because obviously for the last several years the left has not been the greatest fans of the state of Israel. Unlike
we are stuck in
those of us
2013 in an eternal cycle
podcast.
of fucking flat time nightmares. We really are.
Oh,
we are back at Depression Quest 3.
It's just Return to Depression Quest. Anonymous, Colbert's last show is next Thursday. I didn't know that. I mean, God, who watches it? Fuck me. I can't imagine anybody with a fucking pulse being able to tolerate that dreck.
Well, someone probably thought to themselves, well, I don't really want to go into the archives of Live Leak, but I do want to see someone just go up on stage and die. So there we go.
Oh, by the way, what'd you guys think of the new? It's the old opening, but I put a countdown clock on it now, which I don't know. I just felt like it would be neat to have that. And I was making a new intro to the stream I'm doing with Uzulu, a new intro to that because we didn't have one yet, and the name is still tentative. But I went ahead and I think we've locked in on the name now because I've now made too many assets. So whatever. Tell me what you think of the little intro countdown thing, though. I thought it was cool. It was fun to make. Also, one last little bit of housekeeping. My new video on political polarization and how the very active voting not only creates, but exacerbates the cycle of political polarization of us versus them thinking inherently, how this is a feature of democracy and not a bug, is finished. But I have like 3 now different advertisers who are not communicating with me expediently. So I'm just like, at this point, I'm like, listen, boys, whoever wants to take it first, like, just get,
We just don't think about what we say in a sentence, do we? God, have fun on that one.
I just now realized what I said. Fuck.
Pull one out.
We're not even 5 minutes in, barely, not even. Maybe a little bit now.
Blow my head smooth off, I swear.
Phrasing. Anyway, whoever wants to take the spot first and pay me is whoever is going to end up in that video. So, but then I'm also making a video about the spatial cognition stuff, and I don't think I've streamed since this. I may have streamed on the new channel, the science channel, but if you go to my Substack, which is I think linked below. If not, I'll post it. Do I have this in the description? I have a new Substack article about the spatial cognition stuff, which is pretty interesting. At least I think it is. I don't know. Did I include the Substack? I did not. Let me go get it real quick. There we go. The article is basically about how, there's the Substack. Got it. It's about how women are about twice as likely as our men to answer a very simple question about the water line. I know I've talked about this before, but if you have a glass and you tilt it, what orientation is the water in when it's tilted? And women are twice as likely as men to say anything other than horizontal. So about 11% of men will say anything other than horizontal, and about 23 or thereabouts % of women will say something other than horizontal. And that has been a consistent finding. It wasn't just one study, a consistent finding across the planet, across age ranges for the last 80 years. And the question is why? And the reality is it's biology, obviously. Specifically hormones, which does make it genetic in that sense. But if you have a hormone disorder, for example, or if you are exposed to excess testosterone in utero because you have a male twin, then you're more likely to be able to guess that question correctly. But anywho, without further ado, shall we talk about... We haven't talked about much in Iran for a while, and I feel like that's almost on purpose, that you're not supposed to be... Yeah, I mean, typically, you're not supposed to be thinking about it or talking about it, even though, of course, the war's still going on. It's essentially like a bit of a ceasefire, but there's still, they've not been able to come to any sort of agreement, and, yeah, it's more of the same sort of stuff it's been this whole time. Here we go. Alrighty. Let me resize this real quick. Here we go. Okay. So there's been a lot of claims from the United States government that, which is, look, I do understand this, by the way. You're, advising the military, and you're also wanting to you want bravado to kind of lie a little bit to people about what you've done and how much progress you've made in terms of fighting this war that people were not happy with in the first place. And so one of the things that we've seen very consistently out of the Trump administration is to state that, Iran's been completely wiped out, that all their ships are destroyed. Well, they didn't have a lot of ships to begin with, so that wasn't like an enormous accomplishment in the first place. That's not Iran's strong suit, essentially. But then also I've been hearing, and I seen for weeks now, people saying that their missile capability is completely knocked out. That's not true. They've retained 30 out of their 33 missile bases near the Strait of Hormuz. So U.S. intelligence assessments contradicts Trump's claim of Iranian missile exhaustion. Despite repeated attacks, Iran can access 30 of its 33 missile bases located across the strait and deploy operations threatening commercial vessels and U.S. warships passing through the strait, the New York Times reported on the 12th, citing a U.S. secret intelligence assessment compiled earlier this month. According to the assessment, analyzed through satellite imagery and other surveillance technologies, the newspaper reported that Iran had restored most of its missile bases, launchers, and underground facilities to an accessible state even after attacks by the U.S. and Israel. Notably, 30 out of 33 missile bases are operational, allowing mobile launchers inside the bases to be relocated to other bases, and some can launch missiles directly from their launchers within the bases. I broke onto my pronunciation of missile there. And every once in a while, the American stuff will come through. Officials who reviewed the assessment told the newspaper that only 3 bases remain entirely inaccessible to Iranian forces. Also notes that an assessment by U.S. intelligence agencies indicates Iran maintains approximately 70% of its mobile launchers scattered nationwide and approximately 70% of its pre-war missile stockpiles, which include long-range ballistic missiles, short-range cruise missiles, targeting maritime, and ground targets. Iranian forces are also currently able to access 90% of missile underground storage facilities and launch facilities nationwide that are in partial or full operational condition. So, after 3 months, 70 to 90% capacity on this stuff. But we've declared victory essentially so many times in Iran. I mean, that doesn't, is that what victory looks like, I guess? I just don't like being lied to. And like I said, I know that there is a tactical element to that, to big upping your own game and acting like things are going better than they necessarily are. To psych out your enemy as well.
To be fair, even if they were taken out en masse, the technological level is not terribly advanced from what I understand. It would be fairly easy to replace some of them, given enough leeway.
Yes.
I'm not sure what the turnaround is on what tech that they've probably been using since the 80s.
I'm not sure. I mean, like, the other thing is that the longer that this ceasefire continues, Iran is able to rebuild its stockpiles of the drones, which apparently they make them in these underground bunkers that still exist, and they're able to make them quite quickly and cheaply. And the drones have been the real thorn in the side of because the United States, how much it costs us to make these much more expensive, much more high-tech drones versus the sort of spray and pray method that Iran uses. The U.S. invests way more money, not only in drones, but also in, the THAADs, for example. We've spent a lot of money on it relative to what Iran is spending on being able to essentially keep the U.S. and Israel at bay.
It's the same principle as in NAM. They some sniper takes out a officer with a 12-cent bullet, and then they drop like $3 million worth of napalm on the forest.
Yeah,
they can't even guarantee it did anything. Like, there is so much to be. The military-industrial complex builds towards like a creeping idea of what everyone else might have, and you have to be so far ahead of everyone else. Whereas Iran's like, it'll do.
Yeah, essentially. Well, I mean, they're fighting for survival, right? They're fighting to defend their homeland. So obviously,
another autistic, asymmetric conflict that will go nowhere ever.
Yeah, unfortunately. But I have noticed, of course, that it seems there's been less media attention on the war, and like I said, part of that's going to be because of the pseudo ceasefire that's ongoing, but part of it is also because it's deeply, deeply unpopular, and so it's kind of, let's focus on anything else. I think there's, after 2.5, 3 months of this, people want to think about anything other than this war. And we barely covered it last week, and I think that was part of the reason why there's just less chatter about it.
There's only so much you can hammer the same point.
Right. We have been hammering it for 2 months.
Intentional. And it's just the exact same events every single week, probably to try and cause, learned helplessness.
Yeah, and the reality is, though, is that
it's constant enough to be annoying and boring enough to not be. It's not really possible to focus on it without it being gritty, and then eventually that builds up resentment towards the people who are reporting upon it. Which is perhaps by there are not going to be big, major, sweeping changes anytime soon. The most important thing regarding it is that it's actually causing a shortage of drones on the Ukrainian front.
Yeah, there's been that as well. Well, I mean, the big thing that it's causing is, and which is going to get worse over time, particularly because, again, the amount of fertilizer that comes from Iran, also the amount of oil that is used for plastics. That's also that's used for, obviously, for petrol. All of that stuff that comes from Iran means that all of those consumer products, so the cost of plastic is going to go up, and that's a shockwave you feel later. The cost of food is going to go up because the fertilizer, you won't feel that for months.
More importantly, it's a good excuse to put the prices up.
Well, that too as well.
And there is no corpo fucking scumbag who won't just take advantage of every little bit of bad news as an excuse to bump up the prices up by 30%.
Well, of course.
I remind you that 10 years ago there was a bad almond crop because of a failed crop in Spain. The prices have never returned to pre 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They've only inflated further. You will see that with every bit of it. And guess what? This entire situation would not have even occurred if the various countries around the world were or just independent in terms of their needs. America has like massive natural resources just kind of laying around, in some cases undiscovered, in some cases just untapped. They have more than enough fucking capacity to fulfill a good chunk of at least their proper domestic. I mean that, like, excluding like illegals and ridiculous fucking corpo exploitatives, like using what's in country.
Yeah.
How many times are we going to say, oh, there's a global shortage of fucking lithium? Oh, some dickhead in Kansas like dug and found the biggest lithium stockpile
right.
resource in human history. It happens every single fucking time. Same with Germany. It had that. So, oh, this area where we found oil, we dug again, we found lithium.
Right. Well, there's a new operation that's apparently underway. What was this one called? Operation? What was this even called? I don't remember. Midnight Hammer or something. This one's Sledgehammer. Project Sledgehammer is what this new one's called. This is a long clip.
Didn't get that song personally.
Fox News alert, wheels up.
By the way, you're not
Air Force One's.
So you know.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I have to share through Discord, my bad. There we go. Okay, there you go. Now you should be able to see it. All right.
On the way to Beijing, the commander-in-chief preparing for a high-stakes meeting with Xi Jinping. China's already rolling out the red carpet because the president's bringing the dream team.
Oh,
Rubio,
is it? Oh,
Hegseth,
my. It's more of a nightmare, I'd say, Jesse.
And Scotty B. Rubio's been banned and sanctioned by the Chinese for 6 years.
Now Trump's
they just lifted it.
top
He's
boy.
Clear. And the president's bringing the best and brightest. 16 CEOs, including from Apple, Boeing, Goldman, and Visa, all flying west. Even
all the worst
Elon's
possible people
making the trip.
On one
Should
big
be
trip.
just like the good old times. POTUS
Like
says we make a
Blackstone's
lot
on there,
of money
BlackRock's
with
on
China and is using
Yeah. Well,
the trip.
These are all the people who've been clamoring to get into the Chinese market so that they can just rip the place to pieces and wait for Ping's little regime to get knocked over by either internal strife or by an excuse for a war, so they can just kind of rip the place to pieces for whatever resources are left.
Yeah. Well, obviously, this trip to China also, one, it raises questions because, again, a narrative about the Iran war has been that the whole thing, all of this was actually to cuck China out of oil. So it's interesting that Trump is doing all of this agreement or making all these deals with China, and going over to China to make those deals specifically, and bringing his, as Jesse Waters calls it, the dream team. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think most people know my opinion on this at this point, which is that this has very little, if nothing, to do with China, and China has actually profited off of this war because, again, they were being in BRICS. They were always a country that was able to trade through the Strait, even when there were no ships getting through. Still, the Chinese were able to.
business opportunity, but the two will have a lot to talk about. AI, Taiwan, and obviously Iran.
We're going to have a long talk about it. I think he's been relatively good, to be honest with you. You look at the blockade, no problem. They get a lot of their oil from that area. We've had no problem, and he's been a friend of mine. He's been somebody that we get along.
They have not been affected by the blockade. I mean, at least I don't think so. The blockade has been largely ineffective, from my understanding of it. At least it's stopping the Chinese. What are you going to do? Go to war with the Chinese?
Good things are going to happen. This is going to be a very exciting trip. A lot of good things are going to happen.
What you're going to do.
Beijing's economy is showing some cracks, and without their top two oil proxies, Iran and Venezuela, the Chinese are getting a little desperate. And they may even offer us a little help with the gay Ayatollah.
Did he just call him gay?
Yeah, remember there's that running fucking thing.
Oh, right. Oh, sorry, I don't watch Fox News, so I didn't know that this was a joke Jesse Waters was making. I didn't even catch that on the first watch through of this. I didn't know they were doing that. I think that's Jesse's framing on that in terms of China's really weak and they're begging us to help, but actually they're going to help us. Right. Okay. I thought this was to screw over China.
But President Trump says, don't bother.
Because, no, I don't think we need any help with Iran. We'll win it one way or the other. We'll win it peacefully or otherwise.
The generals...
Are you, though? Are winning peacefully or other? Are you though? I think he probably is going to China in part to ask for maybe some assistance on Iran. I mean, he might deny it, but I don't buy that. At least in terms of coming to a deal with Iran at this point, because they've been saying no to any proposals that the U.S. have given them, and U.S. has similarly rejected Iran's proposals. So I absolutely think that the real purpose of this, at least in part, is yes, to get China to try to act as an intermediary, to see if they can de-escalate some of this, because it's been a disaster. Or something to that effect.
Prefer otherwise. They're saying the Iranians just drove past a major off-ramp. We could be on the road to more war. NBC reporting that the president already has a name if he restarts bombing again. Operation Sledgehammer.
Well, I'm glad he picked out a name. Yeah, I'm following AA's way and disengaging from politics, Vanta Black. Yeah, I mean, I agree. It is pointless. And, once you do, you can see through the facade and the veneer and of all of how fake and gay all of this bullshit is. It becomes a little bit less interesting. I'm a political junkie, so I like to keep up on this stuff no matter what. And particularly when there's, hello, Scrump. Speaking of politics being fake and gay. Oh, were you streaming? I've been, prepping for the show, so I didn't see if we were streaming before this. But yeah, it does get boring in the sense that, yes, it's all fake and gay and all this is bullshit. So that's why I'm doing the science stream on Sundays now as well. To do something that is not all politics all the time. Because it can kind of drive you nuts, man.
Time's running out for peace.
Just the incessant lying.
It's very simple. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. They will not have a nuclear weapon.
Oh, good thing that they don't, then. And they weren't close to one at all, as every single international agency, as the U.S. Secret Service all told you, because it has nothing actually to do with Iran having nuclear weapons. They didn't, and they weren't going to. Just as, going to war with Iraq had nothing to do with weapons of mass destruction, which they didn't have either. I mean, at least they didn't have nukes, and then they used that term weapons of mass destruction.
Just conquer somewhere properly, please.
Well, you could say we conquered Venezuela.
We're gonna go conquer this place we want it shit. There, done. Stop fucking dressing shit up. You're not gonna have the moral law either way. You might as well just fucking do it.
I mean, he clearly wants to go knock over Cuba, take out another country with a central Rothschild bank, as he did in Venezuela.
That's the problem. People would be on board. People are more than happy for their nation's conquest just over another nation, as long as it's for their nation. But here we are, yet again, having to be stooges to a bunch of fucking Hebrews.
Well, there were a bunch of people who were, and still are, sort of the mega boomer base there that were very fired up about Iran. And we're going to go knock them over. We're going to go beat up those terrorists, those Muslims and all that. And it's but very quickly, I mean, the reason that now even you'll see people now are looking back. I see it happen all the time, looking back at Venezuela and I basically hear them, and sometimes directly just typing it out and saying it. When is this going to be like Venezuela? When do we win? And just have why isn't this like Venezuela? And, anyone with any ounce of political acumen could have told you way before this started why Iran would never be comparable to Venezuela. First of all, Venezuela was an inside job, coordinated inside that country. Iran is a completely and utterly different situation. However, in the end, if the U.S. had been able to just knock over Iran and take it, in a day or 3 as it was initially proposed, it would have been for the same end goal as Venezuela was, which was to benefit Israel, which is to, ultimately, Israel first, U.S. second, in terms of benefiting from that. Which is, in part, also, because Venezuela didn't have a central Rothschild-owned bank. But I can understand from the boomer perspective, they're sitting there going, and I'm using boomer meaning spiritually or literally boomers. It is all like a TV show. It's all very much theater to them. So they can't understand, like, why isn't my guy, why isn't, my hero, my Marvel character, my Goyslop, why isn't he winning when he said he's going to win? And they can convince themselves to a certain amount, which is what my new video is about on my main channel, the political polarization stuff and how it makes people literally see the world like backwards and a completely wrong opinion or wrong. They're not opinions. They think they're facts, but they're just not based in reality. They're based on what they would like to be true. And so they end up living in a parallel reality. And you can live in a parallel reality for so long until it starts to affect your physical reality a little bit. And things like months and months of high gas prices, already on top of the fact that Americans can't afford to buy homes. Certainly millennials and Zoomers can't afford to buy homes. Their entire cost of living is up. There have been job losses in the United States under Trump. Things are not good domestically in many senses. Now, I'm of a mixed mind in terms of the redistricting, which we'll get to, because there's basically a little war going on right now in terms of wanting a bunch of states to redistrict. There have been some wins already, as you could say wins, although I have some reticence. I'm just being cautious there for the Republicans, who I also don't want to win at this point because they're fucking useless. But not that I want the Dems to win either. That's why I'm a monarchist. You know what I mean, though. Anyway.
Yes, because it's going so wonderfully with King Chuck.
Oh my God. Just some of the things that he had to make sure that he got into his speech this morning was just what's important. Let's see. Oh, I know. Digital ID and anti-Semitism. Fighting anti-Semitism. Thanks, Charlie. Great. I'm not happy with that either, okay? But, now I lost my damn train of thought. What the heck? Fuck, you threw me off my I was ranting. I was ranting about something. I was about Iran. I don't know. I was ranting about Iran. I'll just go back to it then. I can't remember. It must not have been important then. I do have this stuff from the King's speech, though.
They know that. They've agreed to that. And then that's not what they said to me when it came to pay. We don't play games. They're not going to have a nuclear weapon.
The president called Iran's latest...
I was talking about the Lens research about the WMDs being the whole impetus behind the war in Iraq, that people just believed for years. Even, like, people still believe that to this day. Listen, after Bush came out and said there weren't. Bush himself said it on multiple occasions. Like,
listen, if some fucker supervillainous like nation wants to turn London into a crater, who are we to argue? Really, maybe it's just God's plan.
Proposal unacceptable, and now the ceasefire is on life support. 47 might have to break the negotiation stalemate.
According to regional sources that I talked to this morning, the domestic pressure on the regime is increasing each and every day, and they view this broadly as something called...
Are you referring to the United States?
Every time I listen to someone talk in favor of this war, it just turns into klezmer music in my head. It really does. It just fades out into it.
Like that?
Yes, like your people.
Why do you always say my people? Just because my name is Rebecca. My mother didn't have any idea about that kind of thing. It's a biblical name, sir.
So is Baal.
No, but so is David. You know what I mean? Like, nobody named David catches shit.
Death by 1,000 cuts. They believe that President Trump has...
Yeah, I know, it's ooh fox, but sometimes you have to stare into the eye of the boomer, like, to see what is, you know...
King David was called David, of course, but he should have been called Jody.
Yeah. No spoon, because there's blackouts. It was a big storm in South Africa this past week.
There was a blackout in South Africa, but thankfully someone shot him.
That would be just every second.
Yes.
Well, true.
But apparently we're not allowed to have nice things like apartheid.
It was so funny, though. When Spoon told me about it the other day, he told me that he wouldn't be able to come on because he didn't have power. But he had typed something before that, and my brain, which was about it being because of a storm, and somehow I just didn't read that line, so I just asked him, is it because of a certain group of people? Like, is that why you don't have power? I just assumed, even though the information was right there, you know, when I was
Rain
just like,
dances
nah.
don't actually work. You do realise that, right?
Well, no, I didn't even know there was a storm. I assumed they had no power because of shenanigans, you know?
Well, yeah. I'm trying to time things back around.
A variety of options on the table moving forward that could damage the Iranian regime further on a military level that would make it even more difficult for those in Tehran to rebuild after the war.
Reports say the president's considering a resumption of major combat operations. The Pentagon says they are locked and loaded.
Great.
We have a plan to escalate.
Now, as I said, they've been able to rebuild their stockpile of drones, which has been the thorn in the U.S. and Israel's side the entire time. They've had basically a month to do that, or however long it's been now. I think it's been about a month. Feels like it. I don't know, time flies.
Escalate if necessary.
Yeah,
we have a
fucking
plan
loop.
to retrograde if necessary. We have a plan to shift assets. Certainly in this setting, we wouldn't reveal what the next step may be.
Oh, indeed, Jonathan Stephenson. Speaking of military actions, naming them, one thing I will give the Jays is they are good at names. They are pretty damn good at names. Some of their names for stuff.
It's almost
the
like
Samson option.
It's almost like the entirety of their civilization. It's completely based around pageantry and like just wordcraft rather than actual substance or principles. It's okay. We can fulfill the prophecy. We just need to change a bunch of names, and that'll make it work, right?
I guess so. I was hanging out on Discord with my Israeli friend the other day, and he was showing me some Israeli propaganda, a dramatized version of the Yom Kippur War that is straight up propaganda. But there was a cute hedgehog in it, so I was okay with it.
Yeah, right before the person looked after him got his fucking
With
head
his legs
fucking
blown
rinsed.
off, yeah. Fuck.
Like, I'm
I did
sorry,
tell someone, I was like, bro, this show is rough.
I
gotta
get
chill out.
I consider it hoe scaring that I collect like Kamen Rider merchandise and fucking I play Baron.
So many Kamen Rider belts just out of my eyesight.
Yeah, it's almost like I have to have my serotonin from fucking somewhere. And I have my various suits of armor and weaponry. However, this is degrees like you might as well just say, "Hey, do you want to go watch Showa?" And I'm just saying, pimp. The only show I'm watching is Ichigo. Maybe as far as Black RX, not any further than that. We ain't watching fucking Shin Kamen Rider in this household. We certainly ain't watching 30 hours of Israeli propaganda.
There's a cute hedgehog in it though, Bill. The one intelligence officer has a cute little hedgehog.
Be considering the gravity of the mission.
Passover, gotta go fast.
Oh, we'll talk about that because Trump has said that all Americans, regardless of faith, must be sure to obey and observe the Shabbat this weekend. So I certainly hope you're all going to be observing the Shabbat and shaloming, friends.
That the president is undertaking to ensure that Iran never has.
I work Saturdays, bitch. Some of us work for a living.
The nuclear bomb.
On the menu, a special ops mission to snatch Iran's uranium. In the last 48 hours, both Trump and the Israelis have toyed around with the idea.
How do you envision the highly enriched uranium will be removed from Iran?
You go in and you take it out.
Oh, brilliant idea, BB. It's so simple. Just go in and take it. How's it working so far? Huh?
It's almost like Israel's just been used to just taking nuclear devices from
I mean,
people.
they've certainly did that with the yellow cake now, didn't they? I mean, why does Israel have nukes? Because they stole yellow cake.
Before Clinton could sell it to the Russians.
Yeah.
With what?
Don't forget that
True.
Hillary Clinton sold yellow cake uranium to Russia before the Holodomor and all that shit.
Yep.
Oh, You're My Dan.
Yes, you're my dad. Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't give a shit about Slavic gobbledygook fucking languages.
Holodomor
Fucking
is
get with the
very different.
program.
Special forces from Israel, special forces from the United States.
Bootleg
Well, I'm not going to talk about
the
military
Lithuanian
means,
Polish
but
Commonwealth.
Oof.
what President Trump has said to me, I want to go in there.
The Pentagon just revealed the location of a top-secret submarine capable of launching nuclear missiles. The Ohio-class sub's docked in Gibraltar, and its Trident II ballistic missiles can hit targets over.
This is going to go on for a while, and I'm bored. But sorry, I've become bored. It's tiresome. Look, war's not over. Look, they're aiming to head back towards escalation. And of course, the big problem is that it means that all of the increases in prices, and like I said, it's not just the price of petrol, which will remain up, but the price of a whole bunch of things. All
It's
plastics.
not about that. It's purely. It's just about manufacturing inflation, so they can continue to burn through the substance of your lives. So eventually, you'll just toe the line when they fucking go truly to fucking despotic.
You will own
Worse than
nothing,
they already
and
are.
you will be happy. Here's Mark Levin, a bloodthirsty lunatic, who definitely wants
I'm
more
convinced
escalation.
that everything we're seeing is purely just pageantry and theatre, and nothing that we are told is anything even remarkably like close to what's actually going on.
Oh, almost assuredly. We're getting some version of the truth, yeah.
We might as well be like, we might as well be doing a fucking anime roundup for all the fucking substance that is in regards to reality.
BB watched a lot of Marvel movies. He's got the plan all worked out. It does sound like that. His plan, we just go in there and we take it. Yeah, it sounds like someone who watches a lot of goy slop, if you will. Ironic.
I don't think tit for tat's going to really handle it here. It's a good start. I do think we need to put the pedal to the metal, pick up where
You gonna go fight, Mark? Huh? Of course not, old fuck.
we left off militarily, keep choking them off economically, and for God's sakes, arm these people. We keep saying they're in a position to rise up.
Oh, that's worked out so well. Every time the US has done that, which is many times.
Which is why we get to see the same FN F2000 in 4 different fucking rebels' hands over the course of 10 years.
Yeah, let's just give him more guns. Who are you gonna give guns to? I mean, Hamas, I guess. I don't even know what he's talking. Not Hamas. Oh, the Kurds. Tried. The
Kurds
already said no. They already said
Yeah,
no. They told you to
Kurds
fuck
told you
off
to fuck
months
off.
ago. I mean, I guess it's what they're talking. Yeah, it is the Kurds, right? Yeah, sorry, I hadn't gotten to it yet. But yeah, fuck. The Kurds already
We
told
should
you
make
to
sure
fuck
that we
off.
get guns and military technology into the hands of anyone who's not American.
The ridiculous thing is about this is, in particular with the Kurds, the United States government has done this and screwed them over before, which is why they said not only no, but fuck no. We're not doing this shit.
Again, these are the same people who was like, oh, let's make sure that the guns are in the hands of the Kurds or this, that, the other, the same people who vote pro-gun control.
Of course,
They
right?
want you weak, they want you stupid, they want you broke, they want you dead.
Yeah. TJ France, thank you for being a member for 7 months, who says, Ave Crown Crew, blessings upon you and your house. Thank you, sir. Blessings upon you and your house as well. Let's get back to Mark Levin. Oh, so it's always, my whole life, been something that I found so just utterly, like, in my soul, revolting about these fucking war hawks. Because it's always some old fat guy. What? Oh? Oh, I can't hear you either, Bill. Hang on. Hello? Oh, oh no, Discord. There we go.
There we go.
There we go. Okay, now I can hear you. That was weird. Discord had a tranny sock coding moment. Anyway, developer socks, you know, whatever they're called. Pull those rainbow tights up. Rainbow socks up high and tight. There you go.
Yep, over the roof rafter and down the other side again. You know, 13 loops in a hoop.
Oh my god. Okay, there, I'm sharing my screen again, so you got it back up. Unfortunately, you have to gaze upon Mark Levin
It's not
again.
showing at my... Hang on. Oh, hang on. Here we go.
Got it?
Yep, unfortunately, yes. I'm glad we can continue the song and dance number.
Indeed. Oil King
Walking
Supreme,
Political Theatre.
thank you for the gifted membership. Thank you, sir.
Well, they rose up. These people rose up.
Which I think
when
you
no
gave to
people-
yourself. I mean, somehow you ended up getting it. Strange. Oh well.
I've ever seen before, and they lost 50,000 of their fellow citizens, most of them young people. And as I speak to you tonight, they're being hanged one after another. They're being raped. They're being tortured. They're being butchered. What else do these people have to show where they make it clear they want liberation? All I know is
No
this.
way you should
and
extend the
maybe
same
I'm-
courtesy to the poor sons of bitches using the New York fucking subway system these days.
Did you see that I didn't have this in the docket because it seems like just some local New Yorkers got into a fucking fist fight with some tunnel Jews? Did you see it? I'll pull it up.
I did not.
Since I did think about it, let me go find. Well, it was the synagogue. People from the synagogue where the
Like American
tunnel
politicians
Jews
have interest in
were based.
everyone but Americans,
Yeah, of course.
unless it's about scamming them so they can, you know, just ship the money off and then resource off to everyone else.
Let's see. if I can find this. Let's see it. Yeah, wait, no. Yeah. This is it. The New York Jews raided the other New York Jews raided the synagogue of the Tunnel Jews. That's what that guy says, but that junior guy got ousted as talking some mad shit, and then he cried about not getting his money from Elon for reposting shit. Here it is, though. Mass arrest happening in New York City after Islamists showed up outside of a synagogue and began to attack New York Jews and the NYPD. Oh, I see. I've heard different versions. This is Eyal Jacoby. I have no idea. He's gonna say it's Islamists. I don't know who the fuck started the. Eyal Jacoby says it's Islamists. Junior, who is like a more pro-Islam account, says it's other Jews. I don't know who.
I don't care.
I don't care, but the Tunnel
ears
Jews
are below their eyeballs. I don't care who the fuck they are. They need to go.
But the Tunnel Jews got into a big fight in New York.
Similar on similar actions. Nobody gives a shit. If you could all just get into a big.
Show this. Oh my god.
Let's just
I did watch it on Twitter.
Just go to a field somewhere with bats and beat each other to death. Just do us all a favor. Remove yourselves from the gene pool once and for all. Fucking yeast people.
Yeah. Yeah, Jacoby, I guess, is back. I didn't know he went away. Too bad.
I'm wrong, but I don't think so. When we armed the Afghan people, the Mujahideen in Afghanistan, it worked. When we
no, it didn't.
Armed.
No, it fucking. I can't.
It worked for them.
Yeah. What the absolute audacity of this boomer to go out here and lie to other boomers and tell them that this shit worked, and that it hasn't every single time that we have done this.
He's reading off a fucking script.
I know, creating greater
problems
in
fucking Aramaic.
In the region and for the United States in the future. Every single time. It's so fucking dumb, dude.
The Angolan rebels, it worked. When we armed all kinds of freedom fighters in Central and South America, during the Reagan administration, we pushed communism out of there, not everywhere, but in a lot of places. These people are ready to fight, but they can't fight with their bare hands when they're facing automatic weapons and tanks and so forth and so on. Can't we give them a chance? I read, and it could be dead wrong,
sick of this
that Erdogan in Turkey has objected to the Kurds and so forth. All I know is this. They're
true. Alrighty. I'm also tired of it. But of course he wants escalation. Because he's been
you
in
wouldn't expect him
favor.
to take the stairs, would you?
Well, no, of course. That too. However, at the same time, also, I mean, of course, fighting Iran is a war for Israel. So, of course, Mark Levin really wants us, the United States, to go back on the strict offensive and escalation.
Remember how we all agreed that the guy who did the Christchurch shooting was an accelerationist retard who all of us should hate?
Yeah.
Maybe we should be applying that to everyone else who's an accelerationist, who's like Mark Levin and all these other retards.
Yeah, we did say that. Sorry, I was taking my earrings out because they always end up hurting me. I'm like, I'm gonna put on these cute earrings, but then they always end up hurting and I don't want to take them out. Oil King Supreme.
You're wearing earbuds anyway, so no one's gonna
Well,
see
you would have been. That's why I'm wearing earbuds. Well, that and because you just see my giant headset. Anyway, Oil King Supreme for 5 says, "Hope you guys are doing well and are doing some gardening." Oh, are you? We haven't done any gardening this year, Bill, have we?
No, because we've got a gravel garden.
Well, no, but you. Next door though is Bill's mom. What ended up happening with the other greenhouse? I knew it got destroyed in the storm.
Literally smashed flat in the storm. Yeah.
So there was no fixing it, I guess. Yeah.
No, it was literally like lit piece from piece, and all the glass shattered and annihilated.
Oh fuck. Well, one less greenhouse. I mean, you only got that 2 years ago?
Yes, it was a massive ordeal to get it.
Yeah, I remember going to get it.
500 quid as opposed to 2 grand. My mother's greenhouse is neither here nor there. This is meant to be a politics show. As much as it fucking is a barb in my side that I am stuck on the fucking politics show. God, everything's so fake, gay, and homeless.
Yeah, and Oil King Supreme. I know we're not live on other streams. It's because I've done this so many times.
She forgot.
I forgot that I have to now go through Restream to do it, and I just went and set things up on YouTube. Whereas if I had done that and then went and pressed live on the Restream, it would have reset this live stream and it would have just been like a mess, which I did, I think, last week and was a mess. So going forward, I need to leave myself a note that says, do not set up the YouTube stream first. Set everything up on Restream first and then go, do whatever. So.
Well, unless we were moving to Kick or Rumble, only. It's not really going to change the content.
No, and I also figured this is kind of a more laid back stream this week because no Spoon, so you know, we're down a man because of South African electricity infrastructure. But then again, they did have a big storm too.
Oh yeah, they can cool down
nothing they can do
lightning.
about
They
that.
can stop it.
Nothing that they can do about having a big storm, sir. So yeah, Levin disgusts me. I've also had enough of that. Or should we finish?
No, the sky is sparky, whole of civilization, no work.
There's 25 seconds of it left. Might as well finish it. Yeah, and my hair is bleached. Yes.
There are other people who would rise up. There are other groups that can be armed. If
No,
there's
the
not...
Kurds already told you to fuck off. No one's gonna rise up. You have pulled this with every little group of people with a grievance in the region over the past 40 years. They've started to wise up.
We should have been working on them during the ceasefire. All I know is the CIA in the 1980s was up to the task in doing this, and we did it. Arm the people,
Right,
we give
celebrate
them
the
a
CIA,
chance,
literally the most
keep the
evil
foot on their...
organization on earth that isn't
I know.
Assad,
I
of
know.
which they are a subsidiary.
Is it true that Android users don't get memberships? Not eBay. I've been told it's some compatibility issue. I've never heard about that. I have no idea though. You should be able to just buy a membership yourself. I don't know why it wouldn't work. I have no idea though. Sorry, happening.
Their throat and keep the military pressure on, and we'll get this over with, and we'll have a victory.
Just do the same thing that you've done before and has not worked, while lying that it has worked. Over and over again, expect different results. That is the definition of insanity, Mr. Levin. Let's see. Oh wait, no, sorry, wrong order. I knew I got this in the wrong order. Because J.D. Vance, or not J.D. Vance, excuse me, Hegseth is going to show off all of the money, all of your money that he's spending in this really great, wow, this lovely display. Look at how your tax dollars are being spent, friends.
Bureaucracy was doing the same thing for decades. When our warfighters needed more weapons, aircraft, and ships, the Department of Defense allowed contractors to double dip at your expense. They charge you, the taxpayer, to build their factories, and then charge you again for the final product.
By the way, your taxes
And
don't go
despite
pay
paying
for all of
companies
this
to make
bullshit in
weapons
Iran.
faster,
Anyway, of course.
schedule delays were constant, and cost overruns were the norm.
I remind you that the
while their
military-industrial complex was created by the American government as a cost-saving measure.
Yes.
Because the demand they had for military materiel and other hardware was so great they literally could not afford it. So they got together the biggest of their contractors and just told them, coordinate with each other, or we will not be able to keep this up.
Yep.
CEOs got rich. But today, President Trump's War Department
They
is
should get rich
flipping
the
this
good old-fashioned way, insider trading from working in the government.
Also, just like even ignoring that part, Hegseth being out here explaining like these rich people in business got richer. Wow, we really shouldn't let them do that. Is a queer thing for a Republican to say. I'll put it that way, right?
Especially with a billionaire as the president.
It's an unusual sort of take from the Republican side. Is this made with AI? It certainly looks like it.
This rigged system on its head. We're not tolerating delays in production or cost overruns anymore. We've pushed out the bureaucrats who've made these deals in the past and replaced them with the
our
most
own
talented
bureaucrats.
negotiators in the private sector. A group of businessmen
That
so
way we can
elite-
double dip the signing on fee.
Is that actually his name? Odep Sek War Feinberg, by the way. This looks like it was made with AI.
They've been rightly dubbed
Secretary of
Deal Team 6.
Oh my god.
It's
It's
simple.
so cringe.
We're putting the American taxpayer first
Oh,
by
blue on blue.
offering you
Isn't that
a better
isn't
deal.
that the name of the game? Hey, blue on blue.
Sure thing. Sure is.
We now move at the speed of business, not bureaucracy. Now, when a defense company expands its production to sell more equipment to the U.S. military, they pay the bill. They pay for new factories, assembly lines, manufacturing
great
plants,
for business, by the
not
way.
the taxpayer. In exchange, we're giving these companies steady.
Again, this is not like a Republican sort of move. but he's certainly selling it as one.
This appeals to no one. This is just like basically saying, like, don't worry, we'll guarantee you more military spending in the future because we'll just start a bunch more wars.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're going to end up spending on this shit no matter what, because you obviously have to. The U.S. government has to then buy this stuff. You know, I guess he's saying that somewhere down the line, the taxpayer will receive
and if
some
they
relief,
have to pay,
so we can start more wars.
If they have overheads, they're going to pass them on to the customer. Because why wouldn't they?
Yeah, the slop music in the background to keep the brain dead fuckwits focused. Yeah, taxpayers was paying it before. You're going to be paying it now. The only thing that he's basically proposing here is that they're going to be more bullish, essentially, towards the defense contractors, so that the U.S. has to pay less to receive the same, well, more in this case, because the U.S. needs to buy more military equipment, essentially, because it is at war.
Long-term orders for exactly what our warriors need. And defense companies are making things in higher volumes, much more quickly, while keeping their prices flat. Should these companies fail
Not prices going down, prices flat, as we buy more and more shit, so the spending is going up because we're at war, but at least the prices are flat. This is the kind of shit that the Trump administration is left to brag about in the form of a fully animated little cartoon. They're so proud of this. It's really nothing to be proud of.
To deliver, we will hold them accountable and bring in new companies who will. Speed,
a very diverse group of new companies, isn't it?
Yeah, that are all going to be part
gay,
like subsidiaries
Asian,
of Lockheed
black.
Martin and
yeah,
the other ones, like names escape me.
Yes,
but, like,
there
it's
are
all going to be the
bar
same
graphs and
conglomerates.
Indeed.
Speed, volume, and fiscal responsibility. It's common sense, and it's what the American taxpayer demands. This War Department has made the move from bureaucracy.
You're not going to save. You're not going to get anything less in taxes from this. It lets them buy more a little bit cheaper. That's it.
If a war can be predicted by excessive spending in pizza parlors surrounding the Pentagon, then your government is not fiscally responsible enough to be trusted with anything.
Yes, this is aimed at people with 12-year-old level IQs. Yeah, with that level of political acumen, essentially. Yes.
Business. Over the next month, we will release a series of videos that highlight how President Trump's historic $1.5 trillion defense budget will make a generational investment
brand new,
in our
massive defense budget.
This investment will secure and protect the homeland.
Oh, that is true. They did have the black guy at the end of the queue there. That is pretty funny. Damn subtle.
And ensure America's military remains the most lethal fighting force on Earth for generations to come. We're going to spend every dollar of that money responsibly. Because
hey, you know what would be a responsible use of that money? Not starting a war of choice for Israel. Not sending Americans to die for Israel. All of those would be better uses of personnel and money. Anything would be a better use than that.
That's
I wouldn't say anything, because I'm sure there's something more retarded. But many, many things are better uses of U.S. taxpayer dollars and lives than a war for Israel.
what you deserve, that's what America needs, and that's what this president demands.
Anyway, so that was, yeah, designed for people with low IQs. However, he did the fucking meme. He did the... I mean, like, he really did... And this keeps happening with different shows that Emily Yukas has put out, where she animates something and then it becomes real. That whole little presentation was so similar to this in vibes. Meme magic.
So I'm proposing a bold new strategy. We're gonna colonize this son of a bitch with casinos and coastline condos. We'll call it the Strait of Trump.
And then they actually did propose doing that after she... That one already came true. Where they started floating, we'll call it the Strait of Trump. After she made this cartoon. Unbelievable.
Only one man can save us. Will Stencil.
Will Stancil is...
And his cadre of rape bots.
Is not the... He's the hero we need. Not the one we deserve.
Man, is there better?
Or is he the hero we deserve and not the one we need? I'm not sure.
I'll get the man's car back.
We're gonna go in ourselves on this brand new beautiful Trump ship right here.
Energy.
We've got all you can eat crab legs, unlimited surf and turf.
Think about how all your taxpayer dollars can go to their unlimited surf and turf. Wow. Makes me so proud.
We got 30,000 bottles of Corbel on ice for the
I
bridge.
love that every single time, like, there's a cabinet member from Trump's cabinet shown, it's someone with the same kind of personality as what if Kronk was more retarded?
Yeah, essentially. Well, Hegseth in particular is like that. He's real Kronk maxed.
50,000 bottles of Andre for the crew. We're gonna penetrate this strait. We're gonna penetrate. We're gonna drill, baby, drill. We're gonna blow every last primary school in this sucker away. We're gonna double tap. Double tap. We're gonna double tap this son of a bitch.
Is that Brannigan's big
Double
difference?
tap.
Teal.
Double tap. Double tap. Double tap.
Yeah. They did the meme. There's a lot of memes that have been done recently, where people just become living fucking memes. It keeps happening. But while all of this, you know, it's going great, right? More escalation, more asbestos, and more spending. But high gas prices are affecting U.S. communities in various cities. Obviously. Gas prices have skyrocketed in the U.S. amid the war with Iran, with a national average for a gallon of regular gas reaching over $4.50, and commuters who drive to and from their jobs are feeling the pinch at the pump. In parts of California, of course, everything's more expensive in California, but they tend to be the worst for that reason as well.
Yeah, because guess what? Newsom needs the money to pay for pornography for death row inmates.
Yep. The cost to fill up a tank of regular gas has exceeded $6 per gallon, according to fuel price tracking platform GasBuddy, with other states like Texas seeing prices in some major cities above $4, and parts of the tri-state area surpassing $4.50. For those commuting in high-traffic regions like the Bay Area, Los Angeles, Dallas-Fort Worth, or D.C., experts at GasBuddy say that you could be looking at spending nearly $100 more per month with prices where they are now compared to a year ago. Thanks, President Trump. Thanks, Bibi Netanyahu. And some of Trump's statements regarding the cost of living for regular Americans, it's grotesque. It really is. I'll show you in a minute. Just, has he always been this bad and I just didn't notice it? Did I just not notice that he was this much of a fucking piece of shit? I don't think so. I do think this has been a switch in the way that he's behaved towards his base, because I guess that he narrowed the base. And he started doing that a couple months ago when he started saying, like, no, I can't do anything about the cost of the housing market, because I might upset some of my boomers. And I can't lose the boomers because they're my base. And he has made it now that the only people he seems to give a shit about are these bloodthirsty, Israel first, neocon Zionist boomers. And everybody else in the country be damned. So, and around the world, by the way, too, because everybody all over the planet gets affected by this stuff, by the cost of petrol, by the cost of goods, the cost of living, at least in terms of everyday stuff like buying gas, and then the cost of plastic products, which will mean with the cost of food, all of that is going to go up. Ramo Grey Wolf said, yeah, I just filled my truck up. Ramo Grey Wolf, sorry, I pronounced that all jumbly. Just filled my truck up from about a quarter tank to full, 22 gallons, $125. And yes, I'm in Calais, the center of it, in fact. Oh, shit, man. Oh, my God. Oh, that's rough. That's the cost of a plane ticket, you know? The average to fill up today is about 15 to 30 more expensive than it was a year ago, he said. If you're one of those high commuters that lives 50 to 100 miles away and you're filling up 2 to 3 times a week, you're talking about $50 to $100 more every month filling up. And ultra-long commuters,
it's
even more
becoming
impactful.
increasingly inconvenient to drive everywhere, almost like if only there was a city that you could get everywhere within 15 minutes on foot.
Oh, I know. But think about this, too. Ultra-long commuters and what that means for the state of the economy more broadly and the price of goods. In the United States, so many things are shipped overland in trucks. All of the cost of anything that is shipped by truck is going to go up to you know...
They're going to exhaust your resources. They want... And guess what?
Yes, to account for the rising petrol prices.
Fuel is mobility.
Yes.
They want you immobile. They want you locked into the layers. Before long, they'll say, oh, we'll give you... maybe they'll do the thing with, like, oh, we'll reduce the price on the tax on petrol, but you have to agree to, as like, only expend a certain amount of it. Or something like that. It's ration books by any other name.
Yes. According to the Census Bureau, 68.7% of U.S. workers drive alone to work, which was down slightly from 2019 following COVID. But the Census Bureau data showed that 9.3% of workers over the age of 16 report traveling 60 minutes or more for their jobs, Workers over the age of 16 spend over 27 minutes commuting on average, the federal agency also reported. I mean, I think every job I've ever had, except for when I lived on or lived right off campus and worked on campus. But even when I got my first proper job when I was 19, I think, or 20, maybe. I think I had an internship first, yeah. But then I got a proper job when I was 20.
Don't get hold up on the little
I know.
details. We don't need your docs.
And in Cincinnati to go
If we
from...
want your docs, we'll look for it.
This was in Cincinnati. So going from Xavier University, around where I lived, where I went to school, out to my job there, that was a 45-minute commute. And then when I lived in Baltimore, just going from the suburbs into Baltimore City, now not a very long distance, about 2.5 miles, that was an hour to an hour and a half commute every day to get in and out of that city. And it made me want to eat a bullet. Bro, oh my, sitting in traffic for an hour and a half every day, or excuse me, for 3 hours every day.
For a distance that you could walk if it wasn't for the crime.
Right, you certainly can't walk there. You know, I, as a woman, as a white woman, could not walk, particularly because the path to get there is through the absolute, like when I'm driving in my car to get there, the absolute worst parts of Baltimore City, where it looks like the apocalypse has came and went. You can't, like, you cannot
I'm so glad that
have steps. NWAs will steal your porch. And do, because it used to have all these marble steps, and all the marble steps are gone because NWAs stole each other's freaking stoops.
Stoop kid most affected.
Stoop kid most affected. That was I hated that. That was soul, like, wrenching, soul just chiseling, just millstone every day of having to be in that traffic for 3 hours in total.
Oh, it's almost like you should probably not have lived in fucking Baltimore.
Yeah, but
like
that's
murder
ridiculous.
capital 1.
Yeah, I know, but that's my mom's family's from there, so. In April 2026, the average price for regular gasoline increased by 12.8%, up from March, up to $4.10 a gallon, according to the Bureau of Transportation Statistics. The price for a gallon of gas last month was 29.4% higher than in April 2025. So 30% higher, essentially, than it was last year. Spoon is not passed out, Ardent. Welcome, by the way. Spoon is not here today. Maybe I should put a note on the stream. There's storms in South Africa. They don't have power.
We're spoonless!
We're spoonless. We don't have any utensils.
This is a concurrent issue.
Oh my god, dude, the whole Jeremy Hampley, Kino Casino stuff has been going crazy. Wow. I mean, I don't even know. It's a fucking shit show. North of, let's see, Dahan said he crunched the numbers and found that gasoline has cost American consumers $28 billion more since March 1st. North of $20 billion is probably what is due to the Iran war, he said. Some of it's seasonal, but certainly a significant economic impact. We're in the thick of this. BTS data for April 2026 showed the year-over-year average price of regular motor gasoline was up by more than 25% in all major regions of the U.S. And of course, in some worse than others, Central Atlantic, 30%. Lower Atlantic, 30%. Gulf Coast, 35.2%. New England, 35.3%. Who's doing the best?
Hey,
the Rocky Mountains. So, being in kind of the middle of nowhere, you know?
So, hey, look, an excuse to put the prices up. Will it be reflective of what the actual costs are? No. Just keep ratcheting it up regardless.
Prices are highest regionally on the West Coast. Yep, as you looked at, and the Great Lakes are the most expensive regions in the country. Dahan said the West Coast is generally the most expensive region. Yep, just in general because of all the taxation. Well, I think we get the idea.
This question: how much of the price of fuel is duty and tax? Isn't it like 75%?
No, it can't be that high. Is it? How much is what's the tax on?
The easiest comparison, compare regular diesel to like avian or aeronautic diesel.
Well, it depends. There's state tax. There's going to be state tax and federal tax.
Exactly.
Is there federal tax on gas?
90% of your burden as a person is completely invented by the state.
18.4 cents per gallon for gasoline, and 24.4 cents for diesel. Why can't I talk tonight? Damn. That's the federal tax. And then you're going to have the state taxes that go on top of that. So, 18 cents. is the amount that Uncle Sam gets. But despite the fact that gas prices are up across the board, in Cali tax is like 40%. So yeah, that's a whole additional cost on top of it. That's adding to those prices being that way. Here's what Trump thinks about it, though, about the cost of living, that your daily commute to and from your job that you need to go to make money so that you can spend the money on gasoline to get to work. Great Metric song about that, by the way. Drive your car to... It was like, buy this car to drive to work. Drive to work to pay for this car. Yeah, I couldn't think about it. It's Suck Sexy.
Use the money to buy a better album than what Metric puts out.
What? I don't really care for Suck Sexy. Isn't that song that's on? I think so. It's not one of my favorite Metric songs.
I'm sorry, if you listen to Metric, get your hormones checked.
You know who else enjoys Metric besides me, Bill?
Tim Pool, he's also shit.
The one time I was on his show and I walked in and I was just like, he was listening to like a full album. At first I thought maybe it's just one Metric song. He was listening to the full album. I know I've told this story. And I was just like, oh my God, you like Metric? I was like, I love Metric. They're my favorite band. He was like, cool. Tim's, it's just how he is. He's just very standoffish. It's very low affect, right?
Verbally brutish.
This is so okay. I'm gonna ask him, what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal with Iran? Is what the reporter's asking him here.
Money.
To what extent are Americans' financial situations motivating you to make a deal?
Not even a little bit. The only thing.
Not even a little bit. He doesn't give a single flying fuck.
Why would he care? He got his.
He doesn't care. I mean, this is so disappointing. You know, Republicans always say that they're trying to make things cheaper for people. They're not going to spend a bunch of money. That was particularly what Trump ran on. I'm not a Republican. I'm not like those other guys. I'm not a GOP do nothing
like
Republican.
Other girls.
Yeah, I'm not like other girls, she says. But yeah, absolutely is like all the other fucking girls. He's a dirty whore.
And just like the Bible taught you, these hoes ain't loyal.
These hoes ain't, well, they are loyal to Israel and nothing and no one else. Clearly. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
His loyalty to no one.
Does not give a single, doesn't even think about it. The fact that all of Americans, first of all, has done nothing about the housing situation whatsoever. Is costing U.S. jobs. That has also happened.
You should not be taking advice from anything from the desert. The only thing you should take from sand is grit.
True. And now, you're just, and I know it's just petrol now, and I keep saying it, but it will be everything. It'll be everything that's made out of plastic is going to go up in price. It will be, the cost of food will go up because the cost of fertilizer's gone up. This is going to have long-term economic ramifications that we're not even feeling that much yet. Everything is going to get more expensive. And you know how it is when shit gets more expensive. It never fucking goes back down, does it? Maybe a little bit eases off, but then that becomes the new normal.
One need only look as far as the food industry. We saw this, you'll see the price of fish. This year it will double again.
Yes.
It doubled last year. It will double again this year for the cod. We saw it with almonds 10 years ago. We're seeing it with pistachios now.
Yeah, it's such a shame because I love pistachios. But as Dusty Rugburn says...
Guess what? The Dubai chocolate trend, which was started by the Turkish, of course, because it's where it's actually made in Turkey, was pretty much just to drive up demand for pistachios artificially right after a bad harvest to ensure that demand was high. And
is that really what happened with the Dubai chocolate?
Pretty much.
I love pistachios, and I love I love
and
making...
it's 90 quid a tub.
Oh, I made those apple pastries, the apple turnovers the other week, the strudel, and yeah, I put pistachios in those because we happen to have some, and because I wanted to put almonds in it, and later I found my almonds, and as I was putting those pistachios in, I was like, it's like pouring gold into this, especially with the price of pistachios. God damn it.
It's something made with Granny Smith, so it's like eating battery acid.
No, they were delicious, and you're just being rude about my pastries.
Bramley's for baking, not Granny Smith's.
I like green apples for baking because they're nice and tart.
Bramley's are green apples, your tool bag.
I use green apples.
Use Granny Smith's.
I like the Granny Smiths. I like the tartness.
They taste like battery acid.
Anyway, yeah, I love pistachios. I love pistachio ice cream in particular.
The thing that matters when I'm talking about Iran, they can't have a nuclear weapon. I don't think about...
Stop repeating it. They don't, and they were going to. It is such. It makes you really feel like you're stuck in a fucking time loop. We are right back to WMDs in Iraq. It's the exact same shit. They have WMDs. They're gonna get WMDs any day. Any day. Oh, they did have them. Maybe they'll have them tomorrow. Iran's been on the verge of having a nuclear weapon for the last 43 fucking years, according to these people.
To say they're meant to be an Aryan nation, they sure are on black time, aren't they?
Apparently, right? It's because they weren't actually trying to build a nuke. At least as far as any international watchdog agency, as much as the CIA and the Secret Service were able to determine, they were not. They weren't trying to build a weapon with it. That's the United States' own Secret Service, own intelligence agencies have said no, they weren't, and international watchdog organizations. So, my point being, apparently, everyone who knows anything about building nukes is lying except for Donald Trump and his cadre.
I would remind people that we have lost the technology to upkeep the majority of the American nukes.
Yeah, we don't know exactly to what degree. Scrump would know. He looked into that stuff quite a lot. I don't know if you saw in chat.
Reset the clock.
He was in chat and he does know about this stuff. That's why I mentioned it. He's done a lot of research into it.
American financial situation, I don't think about anybody. I think about one thing. We cannot let Iran have a nuclear weapon. That's all.
I don't give a shit about how all of you are suffering economically. And yes, who brought this up? Dusty Rugburn, about how Trump is the one who also suggested the 50-year mortgages. You're never going to buy a house. Or if you do, enjoy your 50-year mortgage. You know?
Me having my own house that I own, whole cloth, puts me ahead of pretty much everyone I know, and that's freakish because I'm an absolute fucking train wreck of a human being.
No,
Bill. No organizational skills to speak of. The fact that I'm ahead of the curve is fucking terrifying.
Bill, don't be rude to yourself.
I'm a fucking wholesale clerk.
It's honest work.
There are
more
people
honest than
who...
being a streamer and YouTuber, bro.
Yeah, I've been very verbal about how none of you actually work for a living and you should all be gainfully employed elsewhere.
However, you know how much that I literally spend every waking second working on something or another related to this. I don't even play games. I don't play fucking video games.
I've got so much to do. I need to do this, that, and the others. Like, motherfucker, you're self-employed. Set your own standards.
Yes. And my standards are to work all the time. Unfortunately, I would have my video out now, but yeah, I'm waiting for my sponsor. So you probably get kind of like a double whammy of videos quite close by each other.
Don't promise things when technical shit could go sideways.
Yeah, I can't promise that. You never know. You never know.
Never say the Q word. All I'm saying.
Indeed.
That's the only thing that motivates.
Anyway, it's just disgusting to me.
In Deadwood, they say you can't cut the throat of every man whose character it would improve. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying half measures like that are what got us where we are today.
Indeed. And here's what he doesn't even think about it. Here's what he does think about, though. His fucking ballroom, his vanity projects. This is the same interview.
I don't even want to fucking honor with screen time anything to do with that fucking ballroom.
He crashes out here. That's why it's interesting.
So what happened is we have a ballroom that's under budget. It's going up right here. I've doubled the size of it because we
made on your dime anyway.
I mean,
the original plan was the ballroom was going to be on Trump's dime.
Oh no. I mean, maybe he floated that, but I don't think so.
Originally, it was.
We obviously need that, and we're right now on budget, under budget, and ahead of schedule. I doubled the size of it, you dumb person. It's double the size. You are not a smart person.
Why did the cost double? Because I doubled the size of it, you dumb bitch. Which is what he really wanted to say. And he should have just said it, honestly. It would have been more based instead of you dumb person. Why did you double the size of it? Because it's a fucking vanity project. That's why. And he doesn't even pay attention to how the American people feel, by his own admission, in this same, interaction with the press.
But no, it's like it doesn't matter about that everyone's at home is suffering, that no one can afford anything. That crime is rampant. Crime is rampant, and the judiciary are completely corrupt. Now I need my ballroom. Let them eat dick.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't just need his ballroom. He also needs a massive golden statue of himself.
Which looks weirdly more like Michael Jackson if he was put in a microwave than Trump.
Kind of. Then the evangelical leaders gathered in Mar-a-Lago, which is where the statue is, to bless and dedicate the golden statue of Trump.
I want to make sure everyone can hear.
God. Like I said, I called this biblical in a bad way. You're not... You remember that whole story about how you're really not supposed to build golden idols that you worship?
No. This is a perfect statue of Trump. Because what do you see when you look at it? Guilt.
Because it's gilded? Is that what you mean? Guilt?
Yes, that's the joke.
I get it, yeah.
Okay, sir.
It's like pulling teeth.
I do feel guilt. I voted for this guy 3 times.
That's guilt by association.
No. I mean, by the way, the democratic process and system is designed to make you feel that way. Now, most people don't want to feel guilt about it, and they might feel guilt, but they feel cognitive dissonance. Or no, I voted for this guy, and not doing what I wanted him to do. In fact, he's doing all kinds of insane shit I didn't want him to do. He's relating himself to Jesus and building golden statues of himself. Yeah, Ozymandias, Moloch. Yeah, this is weird. It's weird. It's I think a little satanic, particularly when you come out and have evangelical ministers bless it. Okay? I didn't vote for any of that shit in any fucking capacity, but the way that the democratic system works is to make you feel guilt, to make you feel cognitive dissonance. And in order to avoid the cognitive dissonance, you just go, none of it's happening. Blinders on, it's not happening, it's not happening. Trump's doing a great job, he's my president. It's not happening, it's not happening, it's not happening. That's what cognitive dissonance does.
There's no additional charge. You can take a breath from time to time.
I talk quickly.
Hello, everybody.
It's mentally exhausting for the people at home. They are already exhausted enough.
It makes it seem like the sound is coming from the statue, like he's trying to scare the people, like, you know.
Remember me!
You know, like there are a bunch of, like,
this is just Bender when he became a king at one time.
Right, who will be impressed that the statue is talking to them.
I want to make sure everyone can hear. Okay, sir.
I mean,
hello, everybody. I want to thank you so much for being there today, and more importantly, for what you did. The statue is beautiful. You know, I saw it during...
No, it's actually hideous, too. I'd like to also point out, he's got, like, his suit, but he's got his suit unbuttoned, with just his fat gut, like, old man gut sticking out. I mean, they've tucked it in a little bit to be flattering to him, but, like, no, it
looks
sucks.
like Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force dressed as Michael Jackson.
God, it does. It's not a good statue. Also, no, I think it's hideous. I don't like the color gold that it is. Is it?
My statue.
I don't like. I don't know. I like a darker gold color.
In the weekend, we had a big PGA tournament with a great champion and all great champions, actually.
It does look cheesy.
Yeah, it was a great tournament.
I agree.
I got to look at it very.
What?
I know a lot of people play golf. But whenever I hear someone talk about it, my eyes roll into the back of my fucking skull.
I know.
And I say that's someone who played golf as a sport at school because I was too fucking lazy and bone idle to do any other sport.
It is like the Bender Pharaoh episode, and yes, yeah. It does all feel like something out of GTA. It all feels surreal. It also feels deeply satanic to me, or flirting with it.
Hyper-reality is a Satanistic concept, isn't it?
Indeed.
Closely, and it's incredible. And I just want to thank you. I know it was done from love, and I want to thank Mark Burns.
Wow. I like how even from here you can see the small hat. You see what I'm talking about, Bill?
I can hear it in his fucking voice.
No, look. So there's,
I'm well aware.
On the bottom, there's a guy in a blue shirt, and the next to him,
if you see a statue of Trump, it's your duty to glue a yarmulke to the top.
There's
of it.
always gonna. If you see any kind of statue of Trump, any kind of thing, related to Trump in some way, there is always a small hat within about a 30-foot radius, I'd say, and he's right there.
It's Donald J. Trump, the God's circumsoldier.
I've known him a long time. He's been with me from the beginning. Right from the beginning. Maybe about 2 days later, right? 2 days later.
Right, Mr. President.
he was right at the beginning, and I appreciate it, Mark. You're great, and just really a good person. And I want to thank everybody there. I don't know, here there's a good crowd of people, but I want to thank you all, and I won't forget it. And
he doesn't give a shit about you. Why are you cheering?
The country's doing great.
No, it's not.
Iran is not doing good because of us. They are not doing well.
Are you sure about that?
Everyone talks shit about Jonah not wanting to go save Nineveh, and then I look at shit like this. It's like, yeah, I too hate those motherfuckers. I hope they don't repent, and I hope they get fucking God bolted.
Yeah, it is hideous. A marble statue would have looked better and been something something like that.
Oh, also, isn't there this thing going around that there was that whole thing floated that they painted marble statues back in the day.
They did.
And it turned out that that was a knock-on effect from like 2016, and that they were doing it purely to make the classical period look less attractive to right-wing people.
No, Renaissance era statues were not painted.
No, I'm talking like the classical classical
yes,
statues.
that stuff was painted.
Yeah,
well,
but there has been I've seen people talking about how the whole thing was just a work to get people
really
to appreciate the classical statues less.
Everything I'd read on
which is why they were so garishly painted. Similarly, there were also people saying, "Oh, that's the base layer of the statue. That's that bright." And then you paint.
Well, that's very possible. That's very possible that was just the base layer, and then they painted it with more subtle colors on top, like whites and things that
I think that Trump should cut the bullshit and just put fucking boot polish on its face.
I don't know about that. That's what I had read about it, is that they were all brightly colored. Were ancient.
I've also, hang on, I'll see if I can dig out the video somewhat kicking around.
Colored. Ancient, often, not always, originated with bright, vibrant colors, known as polychromy.
Hang on, I'll try and find the clip, the other one.
I mean,
the counterpoint.
These are some examples of it in terms of copy image address. There we go. Like, this is what I thought. I mean, have I been psyoped into believing this? Hey, Kizza, thank you for being a member for 40 months. Who says, your king has blessed the stream. Your king hopefully will be joining the lovely Aiden Paladin sometime, talking some real science this Sunday about a subject your king is well versed in, and Aiden will learn so much. Jesus is king. Thank you, Kizza. Yes, I think Kizza will be joining me in Uzulu on Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, to talk about automobiles, because there's an expert in that, and I don't know shit about cars. This is allegedly what they might have looked like, but I don't know, maybe these were also base layers. I don't know how I feel about the blocky paint. I also don't know if it's accurate they were actually painted like this and there weren't more depths to the tones that were used, right, in the colors. Because I kind of get the feeling that they wouldn't have just painted things this hideously, you know? I get the feeling that Romans were OG Warhammer painters, and that they had better detail than the recreations.
It's probably a mix of both. People who like the taste for just flat marble. It's like people who want statues now. Some people want retarded, like absolutely hideous gilded effect.
Well, it's fake in that they don't really know. They're guesses, right? But that they did have bright colors on them, so they're guessing. I don't think they were painted in such a hideous way. How bricked up are we? We haven't gotten to the China section quite yet, so we're not fully bricked up. We were talking about Iran, though, so we're half bricked up. Anyway, there's no reason to pay more attention to Trump's hideous golden calf statue. But yep, built a statue of himself. He did the fucking meme. This was an AI meme that was going around when when the evangelical stuff involving Iran started. And he did, I saw this meme months ago. And he did the fucking meme. He legit did it. He and Hegseth both are on a fucking roll, trying to become the biggest parodies of themselves imaginable. Fucking lunacy, bro. Speaking of lunacy, and well, in the same sort of vein here, we did see that there was a Jewish gentleman right there at the christening of the golden calf of Trump. Trump's Shabbat proclamation and America's founding promise. This is from Aish.com. Written by Rabbi Dr. Do you do it like that? You say Rabbi first and then Doctor? Rabbi Dr. Stu Halpern, MBA. Oh, thank you, Rabbi, for letting me know that not only are you a doctor, but you also have a business degree. Put some more fucking acronyms on there.
R.I.P.
How about GAE? Gay. The recent historic proclamation builds on the great American tradition of respecting and celebrating Shabbat as a source of spiritual uplift. So President Trump's remarkable proclamation on May 4th, where's the thing? Did this page just crash? No. Why can't I scroll down it then? That's weird. Weirdly, I can't scroll down this page. Let me try reloading it. That's bizarre. What the... Dude, okay, I don't know what is going on with this website. But... What the fuck? Why is this website not... I did not have this problem with it earlier. Now it's just, like, busted. This is super weird. What am I supposed to do about this? I don't know if you can see what's happening. It won't let me scroll. And then I also lose the ability to access the sidebar just disappears. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you what it was, is that, fuck. Let me pull this up, let me get this article from someone else. I wanted to read it from this one because it was funny as to who wrote it. But this website, maybe I'm not allowed to look at it because I'm a goyim or something. You know? I'll just read it on another website. Okay. In special honor of 250 glorious years of American independence, said Trump, and on the weekend of Rededicate 250, a national jubilee of prayer, praise, and thanksgiving, Jewish Americans are encouraged to observe the national Shabbat, the president said. Even more remarkably, he suggested that all Americans be inspired by the Jewish day of rest from sundown on May 15th to nightfall on May 16th. Friends, families, and communities of all backgrounds, the proclamation continues, may come together in gratitude for our great nation. This day will recognize the sacred Jewish tradition of setting time aside for rest, reflection, and gratitude to the Almighty. So, all Americans should observe the Shabbat this weekend. This presidential level public encouragement of Shabbat observance is a first in American history. Wow. Jews have been observing the seventh day's holiness since the birth of the American Republic, and that our fealty to our faith has helped encourage all Americans to live up to our nation's founding ideals. Judaism. Wow.
We're not on Rumble, so I'm going to hold my tongue.
No, we love the nation of Israel, we love the Jewish people. I love Mexican people. Oh my God, sorry. I think there's another group of people he likes more than Mexicans, though. I know there's one he dislikes more, and that's Catholics, interestingly. Trump not a big fan of Catholics, as he's made explicitly clear in recent months. Let me pull this up down here for 1 second. Okay. Trump to Pope Leo. Here we go. Just watch it.
Some recent back and forth with Pope Leo. I understand Secretary of State Marco Rubio is going to meet with the Pope tomorrow. What message do you hope he delivers to the Holy Father?
Well, I can tell you this, that as far as the Pope is concerned, it's very simple. Whether I make him happy or I don't make him happy, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon.
I'm not going to repeat myself. You already know that Iran didn't have one. True. And I more or less did anyway. Doesn't give a fuck what the Pope thinks. I'm going to persist on my lie here. You know, I'm always flabbergasted by people who, their capacity to just lie so consistently. You know, I was mentioning all the stuff that's happening with quartering in Kino Casino, and the stuff with Chrissy Mayer. Watching her interact with Brittany Venti, I was shocked. I was genuinely shocked that someone could lie so bold-faced like that to someone who's been their friend for 9 years. You know? To lie to Nita Infinity like that. Someone who's also been her friend for nearly a decade. And Trump is lying to his supporters and has had now a pretty long history, at least for the last few months, of disrespecting Catholics and directly disrespecting the Pope. Because, of course, Catholics don't believe in this bizarre evangelical shit where, like, we have to bring about revelations. We can't just live on God's timeline, on God's calendar. No, we have to actively bring it. We have to make it happen. We have to create the conditions of revelations so that Jesus can come back. As a Catholic, as someone who was raised, you know,
if I caused the deaths of thousands of people for no reason other than to try and hasten God's hand, I don't think I'd be in a fucking hurry to meet him. I think I'd probably put my tail between my legs and run for the fucking hills.
Yeah, laughing cavalier.
Days end, you can do this shit all day, but the sky's gonna come looking for you at the same speed. You might not like what it says, mind you.
Like it. I wasn't raised Catholic in a Catholic family, but I started going to Catholic school when I was 11, and then I went to a Catholic university and got 2 degrees there. So I have most of my cogent life. I started going to Catholic school when I was 11, and then Catholic university all the way till I was 22. So the formative years of my life were largely my understanding of the
There
church.
was an art school in the middle, to be fair.
Yeah, but again, my major interaction with Christianity was yes they were, and I loved my Jesuit institution, sir. And I've talked many times about how much I love that Jesuit institution.
I have no love for the Jesuits.
I liked that school though. I loved Xavier. It was a great institution. Is a great institution. Very, very good school.
And he seemed to be saying that they can, and I say they cannot.
This is what I mean about the gaslighting. The Pope did not say that Iran can have a nuclear weapon. He said no such thing. He's anti-war. Anti-senseless war in particular. And so he's been on this crusade against Catholics in the United States for the last 3-4 months. And it's very disgusting to me. And, you know, all the people who are in this network, such as Peter Thiel, J.D. Vance's top guy, he's Peter Thiel's top guy. Or Peter Thiel's his top guy, I don't know which way it works, has suggested that Pope Leo is a tool of the Antichrist. Now this is very ironic, because many people have postulated that Peter Thiel meets a lot of criteria for what one might consider to be a possible
there are multiple
Antichrist. Yes, because again, there are multiple ones. So
ladies, please, you're both just fucking awful.
Indeed. In a leaked picture, Peter Thiel says he urged Vance to ignore the Pope on moral questions, because remember, J.D. Vance is a Catholic, and simply pray for him. So this is... can I actually read this?
Now, the throne of St. Peter is empty.
No. Yes.
So, regardless of what side of this argument you come down on, we can all agree, pretty much, that the Vatican hasn't been legitimate for very many years. In a private lecture series on the Antichrist, which is also bizarre that Peter Thiel has a whole lecture series on the Antichrist. Again, this guy that many people think meets the criteria for being an Antichrist. Peter Thiel, a key backer of J.D. Vance, has unveiled a techno-utopian creed that clashes with traditional Christianity. It's an alarming stance, especially given Thiel's outsized influence on Vance, a rising Republican star, widely seen as the party's 2028 presidential contender. Vance's career is dead, I think. I don't know. Thiel's Antichrist lecture, name-checked Pope Leo XIV, suggesting that Thiel had encouraged J.D. Vance to ignore the moral advice of the Pope and offer a window into Silicon Valley's spirituality that is profoundly heterodox. You can say that again. Closer to ancient Gnosticism than Christian Orthodoxy. And they insist that technology and human innovation are the true sources of salvation. This shit's insane, by the way. The Gnostic shit, those people are fucking crazy. There's a ton of, the channel Esoterica. I knew you were going to bring up that fucking channel.
I love that guy. He's great, though.
Gnosticism is a fucking active cognito hazard. You
yes,
don't need to know about it,
but
unless you know the better.
But he's trained in it, and he knows how to handle that kind of stuff and treat it with the, not reverence, but with the concern and care that it does to talk about this weird Gnostic stuff, because it's mind poison. I mean, I think it's what broke... I do think that reading all this Gnostic literature is what broke James Lindsay. James Lindsay read all this fucking esoteric Gnostic bullshit and went insane. I think he also... Probably part of that's attributable to the fact that he got like a concussion they talked about before, but he's had some head injuries, and that might have been part of it. But I also do think that you don't go messing around with Gnostic stuff. I think it's spiritually poisonous. And I mean, seriously, I know if you don't believe in this stuff, then everything I'm saying here sounds insane. However, I think it's probably a good idea to not mess with essentially witchcraft just on the safe side of things. And this isn't even like witchcraft. This is like a universe bending, all is nothing, and very dark
mental gymnastics
ideas in esotericism. I dug real deep into it a couple years ago because it's fascinating, but that's the problem. It is... I think I'm okay. It is fascinating, but I think it's stuff you have to be very careful about. It's deeply concerning since Thiel is a main patron behind Vance's political ascent. Teal's alliance with Vance is no accident. The pair first connected over a decade ago when Vance was a Yale law student impressed by Teal's contrarian ideas. Teal soon became a mentor and benefactor, recruiting Vance into his venture firm and later bankrolling Vance's political rise. In fact, Vance's 2022 Senate victory in Ohio would not have happened without Teal's $15 million investment. Teal knew what he was buying. Vance had worked for Teal's California Venture Capital Fund and immersed himself in Teal's libertarian tech milieu. Now, Teal is betting that Vance can carry his worldview to the pinnacle of power. One associate even calls Vance a, quote, generational bet for Teal, a protege groomed to advance a new political movement shaped by Silicon Valley's elite. In Vance, Teal apparently sees a future leader for 2028 who will champion the idea that unfettered technological disruption should trump old norms and institutions. Teal's apocalyptic vision, the Antichrist, his apocalyptic vision, the Antichrist isn't a horned beast. Curious that it doesn't follow the scripture then, in your weird esoteric Gnostic nonsense, so much as a seductive movement bent on halting human progress. Nothing about this. It's the complete opposite of what is in Revelations. It makes no sense.
How can you expect them to read a Bible when touching it makes their skin burn?
Right. It makes their skin burn and peel. So this is obviously not the way the Antichrist is depicted. It's not a movement based on halting human progress. There's many ways you could try to understand or conceptualize of the beast in Revelations, but this ain't it. I mean,
to be honest with you, I could not give a singular fuck about anyone's interpretation of Revelation at this point. All I know is that I see people doing obviously evil and are not being impeded.
Yes. His exclusive lectures in San Francisco, in them, Teal argued that the ultimate end times tyrant would come as a Luddite who wants to stop all science. No relationship to Revelations whatsoever. Using doomsday fears to seize global control over technology, he railed against legionnaires of the Antichrist in today's world, a caste that, in his view, includes environmentalist international agencies, and, well, those that are against him, international agencies that he likes, and, are fine, and regulators who urge caution on AI or climate change. Teal even name-checked climate change activist Greta Thunberg. Fuck, who cares? Is it possible? Oh, right, yes. He said Greta Thunberg might be the Antichrist. This is the most fucking dumb bullshit imaginable. Someone who actually fits the criteria for being an Antichrist calls fucking Greta Thunberg the Antichrist. I mean, not surprising, right? Like some mentally stunted weirdo woman from Sweden.
At this point, being in any position of power seems to necessitate that you have the sort of personality that would get you put on a fucking wheel displayed before the crows about 100 years ago.
But, like, this is... I mean, is it any surprise? Peter Thiel is whispering this shit into J.D. Vance's ear. He's J.D. Vance's #1 guy. That the Pope is the Antichrist. Despite Peter Thiel, again, looking a lot like an Antichrist. And then all of a sudden, just in alignment with that, Trump has a complete and utter prolonged meltdown, essentially, in terms of what feels like being outcasting the Catholics. Well, you have a Catholic as a VP. It's fucking bizarre, but the Catholic you have as a VP is listening to fucking Peter Thiel. Because he gives him $15 billion, however much it was. However, it's going great for J.D. Vance to take all that advice from Peter Thiel and abandon his, essentially, Catholic faith in exchange for listening to a guy who thinks the Pope is I don't think he thinks that, claims the Pope is the Antichrist. How's it going in the polls for J.D. Vance? I gotta say, I have come to very much enjoy watching the CNN poll coverage because with the Iran war stuff, when it first started happening, Trump and all of the GOP MAGA shills were like, look, even CNN is talking about how great our ratings are. So they started telling people to go watch look, CNN is covering it positively. This guy at CNN it's been always the same guy. He's continued to report on the polling numbers since the war started. I don't know how long he's been at CNN. In the same level of exuberance that he had that first time, except for now it's like, oh, and things are looking terrible for the Trump administration. Like, he's had the same energy the whole time. It's just very funny that originally launched the Trump people were like, yeah, go watch CNN. Look, even CNN likes us. Do they?
Take a look here. Two key likely, well, one of these guys is probably running for president, right? If not both of them. That's what we could say. But take a look at their net approval among independents. GOP contenders for 2028. J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States. Look at this. 44 points underwater, according to Fox News. That's absolutely atrocious. How about Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State? He's doing a little bit better, but not much.
Barely.
He's 36 points underwater. The bottom line is this: if a rising tide lifts all boats, then a sinking boat pulls everybody down with them. And that's exactly what's happening with Marco Rubio, exactly what's happening with J.D. Vance.
Don't expect
so the bottom
to have a
line
good,
is this.
like, standard of health and life in your country if you elect someone who lives with an Indian woman.
True, true.
Living with a woman is bad enough. Living with an Indian is
Oh,
fucking
Bill.
myriads of worlds worse.
That's
Could not
very
imagine
sweet of you,
combining
sir.
them.
We look at Trump, he's struggling with independence to a historic degree, and it could have major ramifications come November.
And more people are identifying as independents now, which is worth pointing out. A lot of people have left the MAGA ship. More people are identifying as independents because they don't know where to go. They feel politically homeless. So, these are not things to, yeah, CNN's fantasy politics hour. I don't know how much to... I don't buy this. I just like that this guy's maintained his energy. And I do think that this shit's not going well for anyone associated with the Trump administration. It doesn't look good. You've all got the stink on you now. I don't think J.D. Vance is going to win in 2028. I can't see it happening.
November, and it could definitely have major ramifications come 2028.
I think it could. In addition to the gold statue, there's also this possible gold phone scam. I don't know if it's, I'm using possible, you know, I don't know if this is a scam or not. It's starting to look pretty...
Looks like it was made in fucking Word.
It's
Let
starting,
alone MS Paint.
and it's, yeah, oh, okay, the picture already doesn't look great. It's an iPhone displays the web, well, it's just the website. An iPhone displays the website for the Trump organization's mobile phone service and a Trump-branded smartphone on June 16th of 2025. So, I didn't even know about this. I didn't hear about this when it happened, but this is like a product for the biggest MAGA marks out there. The biggest whales, the dumbest boomer. The golden Trump phone has been repeatedly delayed and will no longer be made in the United States. You got rug pulled, bro. At a glitzy event, trying to get this like right size, and there we go. Glitzy event on Trump Tower in June 16th of 2025, Trump Jr. and Eric Trump announced the launch of an all-American cell phone service called Trump Mobile, with a flagship golden phone soon to follow. An estimated 600,000 people paid $100 deposits for the T1 phone, which is priced at $499 and slated to be launched in August of 2025. Yet, so this was supposed to come out in August of last year. Yet nearly 9 months later, the phone hasn't been released. There is no release date listed on the Trump Mobile website, and it may not actually be made in the U.S. The Trump Mobile website pushed the phone...
$16 million. That's a big number. That's 10 times as much as a big number.
How much was it?
Well...
What? Where'd you get 600,000 people pre-ordered it?
Yeah, times $100.
Oh, true. Oh, right, for 100... You're right, times $100. That's just the... They have to then pay, I presume, the other... $400. But still, Trump Mobile also updated its pre-order deposit terms and conditions in April of 2026, which now makes it clear that a pre-order deposit, quote, provides only a conditional opportunity if Trump Mobile later elects, in its sole discretion, to offer the device for sale. What? Do you get your money back, by the way, if you're not... If they don't elect to do that?
It doesn't seem to be the case that it's held in like escrow or like it's held in lieu. It just seems to be you pay the deposit for the opportunity to maybe get it if we feel like it.
It does sound like that. Like
which is a massive change in criteria versus the original contract, and I would love to see the paperwork for that one.
That if we decide to make the phone, you've just reserved your spot. But if we don't decide to make it, then
there's going to be so much demand for a gaudy gold phone with a big T on it.
I can't believe 600,000 people. A lot of those people may have bought them just as like collector's items, though, or something. You know,
it's for secondary market shills.
Yes. The terms continue. A deposit is not a purchase. Does not constitute acceptance of an order, does not create a contract for sale, does not transfer ownership or title interest, does not allocate or reserve specific inventory.
Then it's not a deposit then?
It's not even a deposit. It's just you just gave them money that they can take. Does not guarantee that a device will be produced or made available for purchase.
If someone wants to tell Trump, Kickstarter and Indiegogo have been doing this for a while, maybe he should go there for some advice on how to pull this shit.
Yes, this is a fucking fucking Indiegogo Kickstarter rug pull type thing. It's like a mix between the two. It's a crowdfunded. They set it up to look like crowdfunding, and then what really is a fucking. It's a mix between the two things. Again, it's somewhere in between a rug pull and Indiegogo or Kickstarter scam. Thanks for the $100. By the way, you're not entitled to anything. We're not entitled, or we're not required to make anything, or even try to. It's not a pre-order. It doesn't mean jack shit. Thanks for the free money, you fucking rube. And while the terms do say that Trump Mobile will issue a refund of the deposit if it cancels a product outright, they also state that the company is not liable for delays caused by part shortages or holdups with regulators. For how long? I mean, like, they're not going to cancel it. They're just saying, like, whenever. So they're not of course, they just never cancel it. That's obviously where you go with this grift. Just never cancel it. Say it'll be out soon. And just keep doing it. Like, many people who got involved in Comicsgate, for example. You're going to get your comic any day. 7 years later. Any day now.
Well, if you gave money to Ethan Van Sciver, I have no fucking sympathy. His name is Sciver. It literally means someone who doesn't do his work.
It does.
It is legit a term in the Anglosphere for a Sciver is someone who does not do their job and who just fakes being sick.
Oh, look at this, Mark. Hey, Trump supporter here. This one goes to Don Jr. and Eric, one scorned customer and professed Trump supporter, sent a now viral TikTok video, posted in January. Where the fuck's my phone? I ordered 3, no 4, it might not be real, gold Trump phones in the summer. Maybe it is real, though. I'd have to see the video.
Hey, listen, you signed up for Goy Mobile. I'm not sure what to tell you.
Indeed.
I was trying to workshop something with Android, but it didn't quite,
No longer made in the U.S. The two Trump brothers emphasized in their announcement that Trump Mobile products should be all American with the phones manufactured in the U.S. and the Trump Mobile customer service headquarters based in St. Louis. We don't want to do that.
I'm sorry, you gave money to AT&T Tel Aviv. It's your own fucking fault.
AT in Tel Aviv. That's so good. We don't want to do that overseas. We don't want to do that in India, Eric Trump, who serves as executive vice president of the Trump Organization, told Fox Business in June. Trump Mobile did not specify where or how the phones would be made, confusing experts and consumers since the only phone made in America at the time, the Liberty phone, cost $2,000. I didn't know there was only one phone made in the U.S., but holy fuck. Since then, Trump Mobile has dropped the Made in America claim, adopting a more subdued description of being designed with American values in mind and American proud design and shaped by American innovation. Trump's family venture announcement came as his administration implemented a massive tariff regime, which he said at the time was to fight back against unfair trading practices with our allies abroad and to restore U.S. manufacturing. Remember the army of millions and millions of human beings screwing in little screws to make iPhones, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said on Face the Nation in April 2025. That's the kind of thing, that kind of thing is going to come to America. What does the phone look like? T1 phone is advertised on the website. A gold phone running Android adorned with an American flag and Trump Mobile logo. Still advertised as a phone with a fingerprint sensor and AI face unlock. 6.7-8-inch touchscreen display, quick charging, 50 megapixel main camera. Who cares? We have pictures of it. There are more iterations of the gold phone. Oh, it's fucking hideous. Bro.
This is something that only Indians would buy.
And boomers. Like...
Is there a difference?
Spiritually? Probably not. Dude, it's fucking... $500 too? I mean, I guess it's probably not too expensive for an Android. But like... It's just... Isn't it just a plate? It's just like a fucking faceplate on this thing. What's different about it? It's just an Android with a faceplate, and they still can't make it? Like, really, what are you changing about this? You're putting a fucking faceplate on it. Yeah? Like, what?
I guarantee you this shit, it's not even plated, it's just colored that way. It's some anodization, and it will rust.
Yeah.
It will rust within like a week. If you live in a area with lots of salinity and humidity, it will be a block of rust within about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they probably did have a batch going and it rusted on route. That's just a fucking vibe. That's just a vibe I'm picking up, but I reckon that's already happened.
Yeah, I would make that in second grade. Yeah, it doesn't look good, Bartholomew Cheesington. Indeed.
Wait, also, if these are getting made abroad and shipped in, what if it gets held up at Hormuz and and literally, wouldn't it be poetic to have it literally rust at the Strait?
Oh, did Charlie order one? I think he's SOL. I don't think they're gonna make them. So this is the new United States counterterrorism strategy, and I want to bring this up because I'm looking for a specific thing. Okay, so I'm looking for that word for a reason. So this is our counterterrorism strategy, our principles, and our priorities. We're going to move down to the priorities section. This is because I have questions about what one of these words in particular means, because I think it could refer to a lot of us. And this is why I don't like shit like this. I don't like these very broad-reaching investigations.
Judicial system is so completely insipidly fucked that they'll just invent some shit for you
into people who are suspicious, that the government deems suspicious, because as I understand, the Patriot Act shit never went away. They eased up on it, but none of it went away. It's all still there. So the ability of the United States government, I mean, they've always had it, but it was very much emboldened and reinforced by things like the Patriot Act. And this is some more Patriot Act type shit where they can just spy on you if you have certain opinions that they don't like. And the libertarian side of my brain that I can't break out of.
They're spying on you anyway.
I know
they're
are.
Already spying on you.
But this is them saying they're going to do other stuff to you. Specifically, what they've said here is that they're going to be identified and neutralized. People who meet this criteria, right? So, okay, this is their priorities. Our counterterrorism strategy first prioritizes the neutralization of hemispheric terror threats by incapacitating cartel operations until these groups are incapable of bringing their drugs, their members, and their traffic victims to the U.S. Sounds good. At the same time, we will continue to find and remove the cartel and gang members who were let into our country under the Biden administration while using FTOs designed to strangle the commercial and logistical views of their organizations. Good. Jihadi terrorists have continued to plot against and kill Americans in part because of the failed forever war policies of prior Republicans. Good, whatever, okay. Our nation has not been well served by its intelligence community, which has been mired in old ways of looking at threats and has been actively weaponized by its leadership as a political tool, whether plotting against conservative Catholics, very ironic given we just went over, attending traditional mass in Virginia, parents standing up to their children at school board meetings, members of Congress, or President Trump and his associates. This administration will continue to prohibit, I see again, what is it, something, I don't know, intelligence community, from being used politically against innocent Americans as real threats were ignored or underplayed. Americans have witnessed the politically motivated killings of Christians and conservatives committed by violent left-wing extremists. I did a whole video about how the left is extremely violent. I think they are more violent, considerably so, just statistically speaking from the data. They have more violent thoughts, or at least as many violent thoughts than the right. I think it's very slightly more. My total analysis of the data brought me to that conclusion. However, when you look at all of the outputs of these data, it's that the left commits less violence. Up until very recently in the United States, last year was the first year where left-wing acts of organized terror surpassed right-wing ones ever, and that's because of the underlying political tension, the temperature being so high. They plan and think about violence as much as any other group, but they suck at it because they're, lefty soy boys, essentially. So they're not good at carrying it out. They don't manage to kill or maim people in the way that right-wing groups typically do. So I'm not saying that the left is non-violent. I have a whole video of several articles. I have an article about it as well, a video. An extensive work that I conducted myself of statistical analysis. Anywho, not saying that they're not violent, they clearly are. However, some of the language here starts to make me nervous under the current context, right? Violent left-wing extremists, including the assassination of Charlie Kirk by a radical who espoused extreme transgender ideologies. In addition to cartels and this is the important part, in addition to cartels and Islamist terrorist groups, RCT, counterterrorism activities, will also prioritize the rapid identification and neutralization of violent secular political groups whose ideology is anti-American. What does that mean? That's the one that I'm... That's the one that I'm worried about.
They've stated explicitly before it is literally you're against the government.
Yes. They also say anarchist.
So anything anti-government, yes.
Anything that is anti-government. And I don't know what anti-American means. Radically pro-transgender is the other third one, but these two, anarchist and anti-American, what does that mean? Am I anti-American for being critical of the Trump administration?
When last I checked, it was completely legal to be an anarchist.
Yeah, of course.
Indeed, including if you are a organized anarchist, it's perfectly legal. But no, now you're literally gonna have CTU kicking down your door.
You see why there's no definition given here as to what anti-American means, what is what makes one an anarchist.
Whatever they feel like.
Of course, and that's the problem. When there's no definition, I start to get very nervous about things like this. I saw a bunch of people celebrating this and being like, great, they're going to go after the trannies. And I'm like, this should concern you. There's no definitions given for these words. And this, I think, is me and other dissidents and people who are dissatisfied with the Trump administration. We could all be anti-American. You know, if for some reason I didn't like all the COVID lockdown shit, let's go for you for your fucking social media takes that you said about COVID. You're threatening people's health and safety by saying this shit. That's the same. Maybe I'm being a panicking, right? Kind of tired of that word. I don't like that word, right? Because I don't know what it means. I don't like ill-defined categories when you're talking about identifying and neutralizing people. Okay? I don't like it. I don't know where this is going to go. Hopefully.
Okay, it boils down to what actual benefit is there to the governments that we enjoy, quote unquote, in the West these days? Because the British government is nothing but a prop to bring in Indian drugs and prop up those different cartels, and the American government's much fucking better.
Man, we spent more time on the American stuff than I kind of expected, because I want to get to the UK stuff, because I am gonna have a good laugh at it. I need to refill my drink, though, so I will be back in 1 second. Are you okay to entertain the chat for a moment, Bill?
I'll give it my best shot.
All right, just
hurry up. I need to take a piss too.
Okay, we'll trade places. All right. Okay, be right back. Oh, there we go.
Is that? Okay. Check 1 2. Okay. All this shit's just perfunctory bullshit anyway. Basically, all of this is just outright and complete and merciless theatre. It's not even worth looking at. I love being able to hear myself. No, I fucking don't. There's going to be no stories because I'm sorry. You get sold enough bullshit in the news these days. You don't need adding to the fucking shindig. As to what's new, well, God help us all. The less we think about what's new, the better. Let's face it, nothing fucking happens. I'm sorry, the chuds were right. There's a lot about things happening and not happening, but there we go. It's all a fucking flat fucking circle. We've been running this treadmill for years. God, things I do for a fucking sword. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, holy shit! I said my fucking ear holes out. I think Spoon might be back. Hang on. I can't leave this call because it'll God, what of all the fucking times? Yeah, as an old saying goes, you ask God for a swordsman, he'll tell you to look down at your own hands. We're gonna have to start taking control of things at a local level and expanding from there, because no one is, as mentioned, no one's coming to fucking save us. We need to know that we have a safety network here in the local area. Unfortunately, you're gonna need to know your neighbors. You need to learn to get on with them, and you need to put your problems aside, or else just network, people. I really can't stress this enough. Network with your neighbors. Organize, grow your own fucking food if you can, if you have the room to. If not, organize with someone who can. I think Aiden is back at her. Yeah. Aiden.
Hello. Yes, hello.
Spoon cold.
Oh, he did? Well, let's add him.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Let's go. 1 second. Hang on.
Would have warned me.
I live, Haitian dickheads.
Oh my god, let's fucking go!
thank
He's back.
God. She stopped me in front of the crowd and just told me to basically do the whole like dancing monkey routine.
I had to go. I was going to grab a
God,
drink.
why did you do that to Bill?
Because
That's just cruel.
Well,
Bill, I'm here to save you from the
Thank you.
unpleasantry.
Listen, I got into this gig as
Hello.
as just DMing for online. I was not meant to just be able to do a fucking stand-up act.
Give me 1 second. Whoops. I'll have to mess around with this for a moment.
Give me 1 moment to plug something in here. Yes, hi, Aiden.
How do, Spoon? Do you have your electricity back, I suppose? Yeah? Spoon? Hello? 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 Oh no, what happened? He got here and then, like, now I can't hear anything. I don't know. Bill also went to go use the restroom, so I do not know what's going on with Spoon. He got here and then he immediately just kind of died. Our chat's now down here. And Spoon is up here. Way. However, I don't know, I don't know what's going on with Spoon. I guess anyway. I guess we'll just go on. I don't know what he's done. Yeah, the ANC got him real quick. Spoon is now I fixed it so Spoon is not the chat. Oh well. Well, I'll go ahead and this was again back to like, you know, this is all actually a proxy war with China. I'll just play this here for a second while we wait for Spoon to recover from whatever is afflicting him. Remember, this is a Is it HIV, Bill? You think so? Everyone has AIDS. AIDS, AIDS, AIDS. Yeah, he's online. He's just not. He was just talking a second ago. Hello? I don't know. Oh, well, okay, so, hang on. Oh, right, also, I almost forgot to turn my thingy back on. Whoopsie. Way. Oh, what happened? Huh? Oh, my camera died.
Ah!
Oh, there you go. Oh. Oh, right. Whoops.
Here we come to collect the
Oh, it would help if I
gate.
turned my shit on. There we go. Okie dokie.
Geopolitical is terrible. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I have been gone for a whole while.
You have.
With terrible weather.
Do you want to
over here.
explain what was going on in South Africa? I gave
Basically, mad,
gave
crazy weather storms, just like massive amount of rain, flooding. There are some farmers who are going to be in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is not good. So yeah, that's kind of gay. So
well, I'm glad you're back. Did you just get electricity back?
Yeah, the power was out for like 2 or 3 days now.
Oh fuck, that shit sucks.
Yeah, because the storms blew one of the piles down, one of the poles that sent the signal. Yeah, and I think there was, there was also, I think, special equipment that they needed to fix the thing, because you know, when there's a massive amount of potential haymakers that could go wrong, it's really helpful to have it in a different part of the country.
Oh, by the way,
instead of where you fucking need it.
I added a new overlay for you, Spoon, because I thought it'd be very useful in general. So,
I see your face.
Well, if you look at the stream, you can see the. I mean, you're not doing it right now, but for when you are.
But they're smoking?
Yeah, but I added something else due to your tendency to fall asleepies.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good actually.
But you're actually awake right now, so.
Yes, I am.
Oh my goodness, I'm glad.
Although,
it's not the same without you here.
You know, actually, hold on. I something's up with my icons. I need to restart. So just give me.
What happened?
Give me I didn't have something plugged in, and so that's. Give me a second, 'cause my PC restarts quick. I'll give him like 20 seconds.
Okay. We'll wait for Spoon to come back here for a second. Well, I'll just play a little bit of this again because like this notion that all of the stuff in Iran is actually perfect timing to use those Z's, that it's actually, all to really like get back at China. I'm not so sure about this. Actually, the video doesn't matter as much as Trump and Xi are considering a $1 trillion deal. China invests $1 trillion to build factories in America. Leaders meet on between May 14th and 15th, tomorrow. 100% tariffs threatened on Chinese oil buyers. China dumped U.S. treasuries. China armed Iran. Now $1 trillion investment deal is being considered. The most hostile trade relationship in decades, potentially becoming the biggest investment deal in history. Is this anti-China? This, yes, China's potentially saying they're going to invest big in the U.S., but China's set to make a lot of money off of this too. It doesn't seem like this is to destroy China to me, guys. I'm not seeing where China is being destroyed and by proxy by the United States and by Trump in this, right? I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm not seeing how this harms China. Yes, it potentially mutually beneficial, but it certainly doesn't hurt China. There's just some video from the.
There we go.
Hello, welcome back. That's a terrible dress, Melania. Oof.
Oh God, let me see.
Oh, I'm not sharing my screen yet. Hang on.
No, it's fine. I can.
No. Bill will need it either way. So there we go.
Oh, let's have a look.
There's all kinds of Chinese style cut dresses that you can wear. I don't like that one. I don't like it.
I'm not opposed to that. It's
sleeves.
More,
it's the puffy sleeves.
Yeah. If it was white, I'd be okay with it.
I would actually be fine with it if it just didn't have those sleeves. If it didn't have those sleeves, I'd like it much better. Why would China do that? I mean, because they're going to make money off of it too. They're building factories, right?
That was
to sell
Americans
products, to sell you a bunch of shit. I mean, they're their factories to make their shit, The
most hostile trade relationship in decades, potentially becoming the biggest investment deal. Yeah, but if China invests, it's because they're going to use Chinese workers. They're basically just going to flood your country with their workers. Yep. They're not going to employ U.S. people with U.S. wages, you morons.
Absolutely not. No. I mean, they'll pay them the absolute barest minimum, and they're not going to hire any Americans to do it. It seems
I don't know why you would actually do that. Why don't you just make it in your own country without need for China? See, this is what happens when you outsource your labor. Because this is what happens when you go in the market and you start artificially propping up wages because people could just go, well, this is too expensive. I'll just get it overseas.
Yep.
And then all your industry goes overseas. And then when shit hits the fan, you go, oh, we need to rely on China for all our shit because we basically shipped our entire fucking industrial base over to the east.
Indeed.
And he who has a manufacturing capacity is he who will rule the world.
But remember,
and
this is all
what
about
America did during its heyday.
Remember, this is all about fucking over China, though, Spoon. That's the narrative. This is all to fuck over China.
How does this fuck over China?
Beats me.
China's in such a great position it can invest in your country $1 trillion.
Yep.
Does anyone remember how China was supposed to be a paper tiger, but China is such a paper tiger, you're going to have them invest in your country?
Yeah.
Clearly, they're not a paper tiger if they're going to invest in your country that amount of money.
Yep. We did see this before. Trump says he doesn't need China's help to end Iran war. Tehran tightens grip on Hormuz. So let's see. This is from yesterday. Trump said he doesn't think he'll need China's help, even though he's in China right now, potentially asking for it. Even as he hopes for a lasting peace deal dwindled, his hopes for a lasting peace deal dwindled, and Tehran tightened its grip over the strait. Ahead of high-stakes summit in Beijing, Trump said he didn't think he would need to enlist Chinese President Xi Jinping's help to resolve the conflict, which has continued to block maritime traffic that normally provides 1/5 of the world's oil supply.
I mean, you're doing great so far, Trump.
Yeah, it's been going fantastic. We watched that earlier. More than 1 month after a tenuous ceasefire took effect, the two sides have made no progress on an agreement to end hostilities. Iran, meanwhile, has appeared to firm up its control over the strait, cutting deals with Iraq and Pakistan to ship oil and liquefied natural gas from the region, according to sources with knowledge on the matter. Other countries are exploring similar deals, sources said, in a move that could normalize Tehran's control over the waterway on a more permanent basis. Trump admin said on Tuesday that senior U.S. and Chinese officials had agreed last month that no country should be able to charge tolls on traffic through the region. It's not your decision. It's clearly Iran's decision on whether or not they're going to charge tolls, and there wasn't a toll there before you decided to go to war for Israel there. China maintains ties with Iran because they're part of BRICS and remains a major buyer of its oil. It did not dispute the characterization, however, but of course they're not. They're trying to make a deal. Trump is due to discuss the war with Xi during meetings scheduled for Thursday or Friday. It's widely expected to encourage China to convince Tehran to make a deal. This is what I said before. That's what China's whole role in this is, that they're hoping. However, if that's what you're hoping for, you don't get nothing for free, do you?
No, especially not with China.
So this is not a proxy war with China. We are currently at the stage where the United States, it seems to me, and this you could, tell me if you think this is a mischaracterization, is very desperate to get this war ended. And is now going to China. Trump is in China right now to ask them for help in communicating and coming to some sort of deal with Iran. That's what it sure looks like, at least. And that will not come for free. That won't be free. So you tell me about how this is a proxy war with China. China's going to benefit again from this.
No, I think that's just the cope. I said this before in one of my videos.
What, that it's a proxy war with China?
No. That's a fucking cope.
Yes, it is. I know it's cope.
With China.
But I'm just saying to anyone who's still under that belief,
Yeah, but the thing is that when the war broke out, because there was very little actual tangible MOs, and everything's played by ear because it makes no fucking sense. And
it's all on the fly.
Intelligence agency said that we warned you that this would not end with a rosy picture.
Yep.
That the vagueness vacuum that would normally filled by the state of why we're doing this. I mean, the main one was, nuclear weapons and all that shit, but, it's very difficult to sell that when there's videos of Netanyahu based in, Netanyahu, I've said that in a weird fucking way, now. There's videos of him for, God knows how many fucking decades. Yeah, but there's videos of him going back for fucking decades saying, "Oh, look, Iran is weeks away from a nuclear weapon."
40, basically for as long as we've been at war with
5,000 weeks later, they still don't have a nuclear fucking weapon. So clearly that's a dumb lie.
Well,
and
we've
also,
always been at war with East Asia.
Like a year ago. Yeah, but also a year ago, there was, oh, look, we precision striked and they have no more nuclear facilities and all their shit is gone. And then, oh, now we need to go to war because they still have them somehow. And the lie was just really, really bad. And every single fucking coping influencer faggot was just shoving their own basic bitch propaganda with it, justifying it all. That had nothing to do with what the state said or anything that they'd done. So it basically just used like a giant schizo-influencer fest, and that's basically the situation we're in now.
Isn't it fun, Spoon? Well, you're in a BRICS nation, sir. Actually, that's why we called the stream "Bricked Up" with no S at the end, because our South African correspondent wasn't here. But now the South African correspondent is here. Oh man, false advertising. Oh no. Anyway.
Woo. Yes, I am here.
It is good to have you, Spoon. It's not the same. I missed you. Iran has responded with
You're
demands.
gay.
Yes, but you're my friend, and it's not Broken Crown without you, bro. Iran has responded with demands of its own, including compensation for war damage. No, the lifting of the U.S. blockade, and end to the war on all fronts. We
are literally like this behind the scenes, by the way.
Yes.
Like, it's no different.
Like with Bill and I, obviously Bill and I live together, so we're much more laid back. But you and I have a bit more, I think. And Bill's more high energy.
And also, when you torture
here.
poor Bill, then
I don't torture
really?
Bill.
Bill?
He's not here. I think he's in the bathroom.
You tortured him so much he's not even here anymore.
No. I think he's just in the bath. Maybe he had to go throw up because talking to me so long was such an ordeal.
Ask the chat. Chat, does Aiden bully Bill? Does he need to get the mace?
Do I bully him with all of the food I make? Well, Slosher for 5 Broken Crown memberships. Thank you, man. Holy shit, let's go. I overfeed Bill. I mean, only with nummy things, so we see the food you gardened. I'm just trying to be nice. I'm just trying to make nummy num nums. And then I call him things like that. And I think he heard me say that.
Sounds...
I heard him like go, downstairs. Maybe he heard me say that word or that.
Yeah, and then he bullies you.
Yeah.
I too want num nums. I think Aiden would like to feed me just to see how much of it I can finish.
I told you I want
to
do that. I told you that sometime you need to come back up here to this hemisphere so that I can cook for you. I can make you all kinds of yummy food, and that because you eat.
And Aiden's gonna go like fucking hell.
Yes, because you
Spoon
eat
is a pelican.
You eat an exorbitant amount of food, as you've told me many times. So you could maybe actually handle it.
I do.
You know.
Basically, Aiden is trying to see like how much of a bottomless pit are you really?
Yeah. It's a good thing you finished that sentence, because if you just stopped at bottom, I would have been like, nope, not curious about that. But
yeah,
there was a bit of a pause.
Mind.
There was a bit of a pause there, and so I was like, I hope you're
bottomless pit.
I hope you're gonna continue with the sentence. The potluck meetup must happen, indeed. Anyway, so yeah, like I don't know about this. It certainly seems to me like that is part of why Trump is in China. I think it's probably unquestionable that it's part of it, is to be like, to basically ask Xi to be an intermediary for him. Do you
Trump
hate
has
him?
basically
No.
become very boring.
Trump has become boring?
Yeah, there's nothing really much going on with him.
Well, we've talked about him for the last 2.5 hours in terms of his bullshit. Actually, I'm so glad you're here. Okay. I'm gonna, because I want to talk about the UK election stuff in the next hour and a half or however long we go. I have quite a lot of stuff. Right. So, I got that up. Yes. Notes. What is this? No, I'm not gonna go over that one then. However, it's not the only story involving China, which is that a California mayor is a Chinese spy. So there are Chinese spies. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if anybody is like, I was never denying that. Obviously, I never would have denied that that's the case. It obviously has been found out before with, what was her name, Fang Fang or something. Mayor of California
that was
City.
one...
Yeah. Who was that? Who was Fang Fang involved with? I don't remember.
Eric Swalwell.
Swalwell, right? Swalwell as well. California City resigns over Chinese agent charge. Which
going by how
real,
Asians
probably.
age, that woman must be at least like 105.
58. Eileen Wang, the mayor of Arcadia. Indeed.
Oh, God.
Agreed to plead guilty to the felony count, and Arcadia City Council said she resigned from her post on Monday. Wang could face a sentence of up to 10 years in prison for being an illegal agent of China. Hello, welcome back, Bill. Her lawyers Jason Liang and Brian Sun, no ethnic ties there, I'm sure, said in a statement on her behalf that she apologizes and is sorry for the mistakes she has made in her personal life.
No, Fang Fang is not a character from Harry Potter.
No, it was a Chinese prostitute, a real person of some variety.
She's really weird because at one angle, in some angles, she looked fantastic, and the other angles, like, is that even the same person?
Yeah, I know what you mean by that, because some angles she looked pretty good, and then other times it was like, whoa, yeah, holy fuck, we too low, bing dang ow. First Assistant U.S. Attorney General Bill...
Please keep the casual racism to a minimum.
No. Bill Esaili said
fucking
that
Celestials.
This play... I think calling them Celestials is fantastic. I also think that calling them Chinamen... Chinamen
really
is one of my favorite slurs. Because, and I'll tell you why. It's because it's...
It's not really offensive, though.
I know. And yet it's
even
considered
Celestial
a slur. It's just saying
because it
man
references
from
the
China.
Qing dynasty, which they're very sore about.
I know. But you are just saying
okay.
Man from China, like human, as in man being a suffix, like China man, like a human, right? So it shouldn't really be anything offensive about it, but it's supposed to be offensive, and therefore I find Chinaman to be a very funny slur. The plea agreement is the latest success in our determination to defend the homeland.
Dodger.
What's that?
Orange Dodger.
Orange.
Just coined it now. Reference to Agent Orange.
Oh my god. I was wondering what it meant. Okay.
Pretty good too.
I'm breaking new ground. What can I say?
Oh man. I'm always thinking about that Saturday Night Live skit where it's
Moon Cricket. Yeah, that's good.
It's not Nancy Reagan.
We can't even repeat that one.
It's Richard Nixon's wife, and she's talking about how. Oh, I'll just find it real quick. For those of you who've never seen it, this is so funny. It's
Put it in the Discord like shill section.
No, I'll read it. I have to go find it.
Enjoy it.
You cannot read it because it's full of slurs.
Yeah, it's fine.
If you're allowed to say slurs, then I'm allowed to say slurs.
Here it is. I'll just put it up on the screen. You can read it at your own leisure. Can you say these slurs on YouTube, I wonder? Oh, is this just a review of it? It is. It is a review of it, but you can see where it's going with this. Hang on. I need to find the actual, like, transcripts. There it is. Got it. Never mind. Here we go. This is the... Because I can't find a video of this anymore, by the way. I've looked for it. I can't find the actual video. I think I used it in a video I made one time, but I've now lost it. I can't find this without, like, a hard copy of these old SNL bits. Yeah, Pat Nixon says, Dick was... Can I...
You cannot read this. We can't. No. Bad.
Dick wasn't anti-Semitic. No, he hated all minorities. I remember once an aide referred to the Vietnamese as and Dick said that was wrong. He said a is someone from China, and a is anyone of the Oriental persuasion. Is always a but a isn't always a
Don't do cheap stick on the show.
And you, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, you were a Jew too, weren't you? Jew boy.
Fuck it in.
Okay. Man, remember when SNL was funny?
No.
That was like 1976. That's the last time. Oh my god. Dick said that was wrong. Anywho. Individuals in our country who covertly do the bidding of foreign governments undermine our democracy. Asaili said. Wang is accused of following directions from Chinese officials, according to the DOJ, including sharing favorable articles about Beijing without informing the U.S. government as required by law. That's barely anything, by the way. She was elected to the arcade...
I'd like to point out that I got shit for telling Vivek to off himself, and now we're just repeating just cheap SNL shtick for the camera.
It is an...
Wait,
it's
did you do it
on
X?
I said he should put the arm between his teeth. Remember? You guys got really. You guys started disavowing me, cowards.
We didn't disavow, did we?
You did.
Maybe ironically. Anyway, so Chinese spy. Her love and devotion for the arcade community have not changed, did not waver. Past personal mistakes. Chinese spy. What did she actually do, though? Hang on. I am curious about what she actually did. I don't even know. Allegations of the case. Let's see. Past personal mistakes. Didn't waver. Website claiming news source. According to the DOJ, Wang worked alongside Yao Ning Mike Sun, 65, to operate the U.S. News Center, a website that claimed to be a news source for Chinese Americans living in Arcadia. An example, so her specific constituency. Example using the DOJ points to a Chinese government official sending Wang a pre-written news articles via the WeChat encrypted messaging app. Okay, so it was shilling. It was a website shilling Chinese propaganda, essentially. One article denied allegations of forced labor and abuse in China's Xinjiang province. Shortly after being sent the link, Wang shared it on U.S. News Center and responded to the Chinese official, the DOJ said. So yeah, she was running a propaganda outlet, essentially. So there are Chinese spies.
But at least she's not shilling for the court ring, though.
Very true. There's some other defamation, though, shit kind of going on in that sort of aspect. So this guy, Jay, posts new Thomas Massey files. Cynthia West, ex-girlfriend of Thomas Massey, exposes him as a sexual deviant and bribed her with $5,000 in cash to stay silent. Gotta disavow Thomas Massey, but wait for it. Massey DM'd her on X in 2024, not even 2 months after his wife of 31 years passed away. Massey ended up getting her a congressional staffer job in D.C. Massey pressured her to be involved in deviant sexual behavior with him. We can hear her account.
No one believes this.
Well, I don't want to scroll down too much because it'll give it away. And make sure I can see it on the screen. Okay, we'll just scroll down to right where you can see the readers have added context to this. So here's what this specimen has to say.
Forms or identifying the evidence or
yeah. You're giving the game away. You're spoiling the surprise.
We are not here to play
man.
games. Respect time.
This bitch was dragged out of the fucking woodwork from Massey's Republican opponent, by the way. That's the game. So this bitch, allegations are unverified claims promoted by Eric Dieters, Massey's opponent in the 2024 Republican primary, who received 11.5% of the vote, and he's a salty loser bitch who found some ugly hoe to make this shit up about Thomas Massey. I mean, he did get remarried pretty shortly after his ex-wife died, of which many people criticized him, but he also got remarried pretty quickly after his ex-wife died. So I think he was involved with maybe that woman. If you want to make any kind of claim, he was probably involved with that woman that he's married to now. You know, I don't know the details, but this shit stinks, and it's desperate. They're desperate to get anything on Massey because Massey's a threat. Massey's a threat because he appears to have integrity.
Wins.
Me too.
Mainly because there's a whole bunch of insufferable MAGA tards who now suddenly dislike him, which is insane.
It is insane.
And so I hope he wins just so I can rub it in people like Razorfist and John Doe's face.
Yep.
Identify witnesses?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Did you comply with all those requirements?
I did.
And in the course of filling out those documents...
Look, I don't care. It's someone making shit up who's being paid by his opponent. I don't care. I don't care what she has to say. I don't give a fuck. What? My lack of shits together?
She looks droned and kind of stoned.
She looks like she's trailer trash. She looks like probably a cheap prostitute who hangs out outside of a gas station. I'm just saying, that's the vibe she gives me.
No.
From the
dirty. She just looks bored.
From what we learned from the primaries in Texas, though, a lot of the Republican candidates are also sex weirdos as well.
Oh, they're all sex weirdos.
They're in politics. Assume
sex weirdo.
Otherwise.
Yes. Kids for £5 says, speaking of food, Aiden check Discord DMs for all the food I've devoured as a good king does. Please show chat to make them all hungry. Oh, what do you got here, Keza? Oh my god, it's a lot. Where'd you go? What the fuck? Okay, well you've got... Alright, hang on. I mean, it's yeah.
That is
a typical English breakfast.
It's a full English. I gotta say, I don't like those.
Those are some dusty looking hash browns.
Those hash. I was about to say those hash browns look a little dusty. Look a little dusty. It is.
I'm sorry, this is bleak. This is.
My God, Kizzo, this wasn't only one day, was it? Oh, this I recognize this, and Bill, you'll recognize this as well. Copy media link.
On the eggs is just
you will recognize where this is from, I believe. Because we've had that.
Yeah,
that
Miller
film.
and Carter.
It's Miller and Carter. Well, I mean, it's printed on it, but we got Well, yes, but we've had this.
That is the brisket stuff. Of
when we went out with Jonathan Wong,
I would
Miller and Carter in Swindon, we got this.
The bone marrow is amazing.
It is amazing. Yes.
I will. Miller and Carter, if you're out there, I'll shill for you.
For a chain restaurant, it's pretty damn good. And you've got. Oh, was it that when you were visiting lunch? Yeah. Is that when you got all this stuff? Burgers and fries as an American makes me proud. Whoa. You got all kinds of stuff, dude.
2 glasses of piss.
Nice
and
Sunday.
Diabetes.
That's basic.
What?
That's a lot of chips, actually.
It is a lot of chips. What the fuck? How long is this?
Go back. No. Go back to the chips. Go back to the chips.
That's a decent amount of chips.
Sterling, 14 mil.
I will say I eat a half a kilogram of potatoes a day, so I can't really say shit.
And that's also what the Miller and Carter steak.
Ireland do be like that.
What? Bruh.
Yeah. Potatoes in this country are really
that one with the pies and the sausages. I just the presentation looks a bit sad, I would say. But it does look. I'm sure it's fucking good. You know, that's the thing. Damn, you had all kinds of shit though.
Okay.
I think I recognize some of those plates. Is that
Penny Lane Mark IVs?
No, some of them I think I recognize as being from.
Oh no, I'm rattling off the actual
spoons.
Brand and product names.
Not you spoon, Weatherspoons.
So those are sterling 40mm chips in kind.
Is it your chip you order?
And the pork. Those are pork or jumbo sausages from Penny Lane.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
For some reason, there's also some Mark 8s as well. It's all by how many sausages it takes to make a pound.
Anywho, so I don't care about what this dozy bent has to say about Thomas Massey. I don't believe her. This is some interesting stuff that's going on though with the redistricting. So court clears way for Alabama to use congressional.
Yes.
Yeah, congressional map blocked by lower court as racially discriminatory. Specifically, what it was is that Alabama, for one, like they were trying to redistrict because it was basically the way it was set up is that, well, you can't draw maps that might be racially insensitive and make it so that there's too few browns in a district. That's the way that the maps were redrawn, is that there has to be enough browns in a district.
Basically, we own this entire section, and if you don't have these people voting, it means we can't get elected.
Yeah. But SCOTUS on Monday afternoon this week cleared the way for Alabama to use a congressional map that the lower court had blocked on the ground that it violated Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which prohibits racial discrimination in voting. That's what they were trying to call it. Justices threw out the lower court order barring Alabama from using the map, which it had adopted in 2023, and sent the dispute back to the lower court for another look. Sonia Sotomayor dissented, because of course she did, over Monday's decision in a 4-page opinion joined by Justices Elena Kagan and Ketanji Brown Jackson, because of course they did. In her view, the court's order was inappropriate and will cause only confusion as Alabamans begin to vote.
To be neutral.
Yes. Well, she's saying she's neutral because it's going to just confuse Alabamans.
How?
I don't know. And the dispute began 5 years ago when Alabama enacted a new congressional map in the wake of the 2020 census. A group of black voters and civil rights organizations went to federal court where they alleged that the new map violated Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. In other words, they were worried that they would lose their ability to sway elections. Inner cities tend to have very large black populations, particularly in southern states like Alabama, and they're like, well, we have to base all the election maps around making sure that the black vote carries significantly more weight than it should have vis-a-vis its population density, population percentage, right? That basically they're able to control these cities and via controlling the cities, be able to control the states, in a sense. Because that's what happens, ultimately. But the district court agreed that the 2021 map violated Section 2, barred the state from using the map. SCOTUS upheld that decision in 2023. Later that year, Alabama adopted a new map, but a federal court concluded that the 2023 map also likely violated Section 2. So they were like, okay, well, we try it again. No, you just have to let blacks be overrepresented in your government, essentially, and you're in the voting power. Court-appointed special master ultimately created a new map in which the district court ordered the state to use going forward. In 2025, the court ruled after a trial that the 2023 map did indeed violate the VRA. The reason the map was an intentional effort to dilute, rather than give excess power to what it actually does, black Alabamans' vote strength and evade the dude, let's just be... Yeah, right, roll tide, let's fucking go. Roll tide, alright? Let's fucking go. Alabama went to the Supreme Court, which delayed its consideration of the state's appeals until after the justices issued their April 29 decisions in Louisiana versus Calais, in which it struck down Louisiana's congressional map on Friday. The state, which had asked the justices to expedite their consideration of those appeals, also sought to have the lower court orders barring Alabama from using the 2023 map put on hold immediately because the justices are not scheduled to issue orders for the next private conference until Monday, May 18th, just one day before the state's primary election. So this is of utmost and immediate importance, by the way, because there's an upcoming election in Alabama. Told the justices this Friday. Case mirrors Louisiana, which Louisiana is going through the same thing. They should end the same way. They were also allowed to redistrict, in that this, oh, no, you have to let blacks have excess power because they're a smaller portion of the population, so they should have disproportionate amount of power in voting. Otherwise, it's racist. No. So SCOTUS ruled on Louisiana, says it's not racist to redistrict in order to not give excess voting strength to blacks. So that's the TLDR, is that Alabama can redistrict now ahead of their election and don't have to worry about that. Oh, sorry, I did skip over the Louisiana one, which was first in my docket. I just missed it. SCOTUS court demolishes Voting Rights Act gutting provision that prevented racial discrimination. The way that the Guardian phrases it here is obvious that they're mad. SCOTUS has ruled that Louisiana will have to redraw its congressional map in a landmark decision that effectively guts, oh, how terrible, a major section of the Voting Rights Act, which is specifically that you have to give blacks excess, the way that it has worked in practice is that you have to let blacks have excess voting power. They have to be able to make, via their portion of the population, bigger amounts of decisions because they're only 13%, 13.5% or whatever. So they that's not fair or something. It's racist. So let's make it less racist by giving them excess power in the democratic system. So Louisiana and Alabama have been given the go-ahead by SCOTUS to say, fuck off with that shit. And in result,
ooh,
it's the only thing that could have caused this at this point. Republicans' odds in the midterms are up. It's very close. I mean, you can see what happened here, like in March as that Iran stuff, and it's not been great. You know what happened here at this absolute peak? I think that was when Charlie Kirk was shot, wasn't it? Was that when Charlie Kirk was shot? Like when it started to peak, and then it's just been a downward spiral. And with Democrats being more likely to win in the midterms for several months up until right now. Right now with this redistricting. Now these are just poly market odds. These are people betting on this, which I think actually might be in many ways more valuable than expert analysis. But those are just betting odds, right? In response, the Democrats have decided they also want to redistrict to give blacks even more power and minorities even more power. But in a hilarious turn of events, I mean, this is unbelievably, okay, Dems' latest Virginia redistricting scheme draws mockery, and you're going to see why. They submitted their appeal to redistrict to the wrong court.
That's just brilliant. Well done. Well done indeed.
Democrats in Virginia apparently filed their redistricting appeal in the wrong Supreme Court, drawing even more mockery in a heated battle over district lines at the state's congressional map. Jason Miyares, whatever, the former Attorney General of Virginia, led the criticism online on Tuesday, pointing to a previous mistake where Democrats spelled the Commonwealth's name incorrectly on legal documents. Good news, Dems managed to spell Virginia correctly, Miyares said in a post. Bad news, they sent their emergency application to SCOTUS, the Supreme Court of the United States, to the wrong court. Sure enough, Virginia legislators emblazoned their emergency petition with an address to the Supreme Court of Virginia, instead of the highest U.S. court, according to an image of the document shared on social media by Miyares. They're so fucking incompetent. Like, Republicans are just, like, evil and so self-involved, and yeah, it's laziness. Because then these people care about anything but themselves, and, like, they do want to win, but it can't even be ours to try and win properly. They're just, I mean, in the Democrats' case, these are a bunch of fucking, as you know, they're diversity hires. So you don't fucking know. Yes, this is black excellence. This is black excellence right here, front and center, sir. Isn't it beautiful? Black is beautiful. Wow. Send it to the wrong court. It is now going to go to SCOTUS. It is now going to go to SCOTUS, despite that. They've now refiled it. So these Democrats in Virginia wanted to redistrict as well in order to give blacks even more voting power in Virginia, to give non-whites even more voting power in Virginia, in order to essentially fight back against what they see as the Republicans cheating by making proportional voting power be proportional. And Hakeem Jeffries has called for more states to do the same. Half a dozen Democratic states to start aggressive redistricting.
Discount Obama.
Yes, discount Obama, Hakeem Jeffries. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on Friday named 6 Democratic states he wants to join New York, because New York's also at this, in pursuing mid-decade redistricting ahead of 2028 elections. It's going to be incredibly important that states like New York, New Jersey, Washington, Colorado, Oregon, Maryland, and Illinois. Now, New York, red in upstate New York, but New York is blue. New Jersey, overwhelmingly blue. Washington, unbelievably blue. Colorado, pretty fucking blue. Oregon, unbelievably blue. Maryland, unbelievably blue because of the high number of black people, I'm just being honest. And Illinois is the only one on here that might, because Illinois has got a lot of very high red areas. But then you've got...
Basically everything that isn't Chirac.
Anything that's not Chirac is red in Illinois, yes. Pretty much. So a lot of these are already, like, wastes of time. This one's not. That one's not. And Colorado might not be it either. Maryland is also starting to switch a little bit because Eastern Shore and places away from DC or Baltimore are more red. But I don't think there's any chance Maryland ever goes red. So again, there's this little districting war that's going on. And I would say there's possible problems. I did think this was an interesting article I wanted to bring up for the Republican wins on this, right? So, this is Karl Rove. He's been around for forever.
He's Satan.
He is Satan. But he has been a political strategist for the Republican Party for a long time, and he's got some reticence.
He's the one that got Bush elected.
Yes. But he has some reticence about that, so understand that this is from Satan himself. Most celebrated political strategist is what the Daily Beast calls him, sounding the alarm about aggressive redistricting backed by President Trump. Rove, the former official architect for George W. Bush and Fox News contributor, warned that the playbook could cost the GOP its House majority rather than secure it. Speaking with Trey Gowdy on the network on Sunday, he laid out the maths in stark terms. Asked by Gowdy whether the new maps risked winning the battle but losing the war, Rove said, "Oh, sure. You could in essence take, like here in Texas, take the big cities, which are typically Democrat, and split them up among several..."
Pretty sure he also said Jeb Bush would win, so yeah, I wouldn't really take his acumen that seriously anymore.
I know.
He's not exactly the GOP golden boy.
I know. However, he might have a point here, and I'm only bringing it up as this seems like a win, but being the pessimist that I am, and also none of it's a win for me because I hate the Republicans too. So I don't know. It is, if you are rooting for the Republicans though, I'm not rooting for the Democrats for sure. Fuck them. Holy shit. I hate both, But I do hate the Democrats a little bit more.
As any proud American would.
Yeah.
American politics single-handedly driving the alcohol industry into profit every single fucking year with its antics and fucking chicanery.
Here in Texas, you take big cities, which are typically Democrats, split them up amongst several sort of suburban and rural Republicans, and thereby reduce their margin and make them more vulnerable in an election year. Same thing could happen in the South, where you take these large black-dominated cities like New Orleans, or rural areas like South Carolina that are dominated by blacks, who typically traditionally vote Democrat, then split them into several different Republican districts and make things more problematic in a swing year. Nothing plays out exactly in politics as we think it does. I don't know. And Karl Rove is Satan. However,
Karl Rove is one of the most aggressively evil individuals. Like if you go back as far as like the early mid aughts when the Salvation War books were being written, which had actually quite as a fictional series was quite forgiving to something like the Bush administration. Karl Rove was still a villain in those books.
His basic criticism here, as the Daily Beast writes, is that Rove's warning posits that by cracking Democrat-heavy areas, particularly black majority cities, across multiple Republican-leaning districts, the GOP can win more seats on paper, but those newly drawn districts are thinner, more exposed, and potentially flippable in a rough election cycle. And rough election cycles are what I think is ahead of the GOP. So, in a weird way, despite the poly market betting, because again, on paper, it would seem like this is all very good for the GOP, if Trump completely just tanks the Republican Party and they can't win, this would assist with them not being able to win in upcoming elections. If they are just so negatively perceived that Trump puts a cast of a aura of stink all over every Republican, which may be good. I mean, again,
he's likely to do at this point.
Yeah, I know. However, what the fuck? I really want to talk about this. I'm glad you're here now, Spoon, because the UK local elections happened this past week, and the results have been very funny. Very, very funny. Oh my goodness.
And Starmer is going to stay.
Chad Starmer I believe that he is going to enact the 1,000-year Starmerreich.
No, I am standing for this shit. Not even in a fucking trillion years.
You know that I'm being ironic.
I don't care how much irony you're under. No.
The Starmer memes have been pretty funny.
The Starmer memes have been fucking peak, bro.
No, I'll accept nothing from Starmer except a suicide note. I will never, ever, ever give him any
really
cultural
funny.
leeway. No, I don't care. Death.
But the 1,000-year Starmer Reich is really funny,
Tackle Starmer
Bill.
death now. TSD.
Look, you just have to go. Hang on.
Bid yourself lucky and extending it to the rest of the Welsh race. Bootleg Hebraic.
Esoteric. We're gonna go to Esoteric Starmerite here.
No, I will not stand for this. Folks at home, I wish I could say it's been a lovely time being on this show, but no, it's been like dragging my balls over broken glass every single fucking week. I can no longer endorse this podcast. It can go fuck itself.
What the fuck? What's wrong with the 1,000-year Starmer? What's wrong with this?
Well, for a start, Starmer can't count to 1,000.
What? Yes. What's wrong? I don't understand.
Well, he lost count after the 800th dick. He sucked.
Wait, you have to be mid. What's wrong with this?
This is too close. This is slack on the line. I'll accept no slack on the line until he's hoisted out of the water, dangling from a fucking hoop.
What's wrong? I don't understand. Is there something about this imagery that's perturbing you?
Stop trying to make him cool.
But
Even
it's
ironically.
so funny. It's so funny to meme him as a fucking Nazi, bro. It's so funny.
I'm taking a hard line. I'm not having the movement stained like
You don't understand how to have fun, Bill.
Correct, because I've been on this podcast too long.
Wes Streeting went in there and he's like,
come on, that's
no,
mean.
this was so fucking funny. Wes Streeting went in there. He's like, I'm gonna have a stern talking to with Starmer about all this stuff. He left 16 minutes later. Dude, fucking Chad Starmer put him in his place.
The fact this wasn't called the Daily Starmer, as Dr. Metalblood pointed out, first of all, is fucking retarded. Second of all, this is fucking retarded.
No, this one's for the end. I'm not gonna let you know what that one says yet.
I can only hope for literally anything else.
Oh, don't worry, Arden. It's all very ironic. That's what makes it funnier. It's really funny if a bunch of people making Nazi memes about Starmer is fucking hilarious, dude.
Listen, I learned to line as Will Stencil just because I feel sorry for the cunt. I'm not extending that to Keir Starmer.
It's funny, though. I don't understand. I don't understand why you have a problem with it. Anyway, I think it's very serious. What are you talking about?
You're a woman, you find anything funny.
I find many things that aren't funny probably funny, to be fair.
What could it be? E-Freef, for instance, is another one.
I love E-Freef.
I make it other fucking complete gibberish nonsense.
I like gibberish nonsense. So here's the results of the elections. Ooh! Oof. That's what they call a big oof. Chancellor change.
God
Labour.
damn, Labour lost a shitload.
Minus 1,229 seats. Reform. Which, look, at the local level, reform might be fine. Okay? It's probably better than the Tories or Labour. I would say, though, that the Tories lost as well. The curious part, and why the left is currently in complete meltdown, and why they're calling for Starmer to resign, is that you'll notice they lost 1.2 thousand seats, and they did not pick them up in the Greens or the Lib Dems. 100 plus 142 Lib Dems plus 400 or thereabouts Green. Ooh, like you're fucked, bro. You know? This negative 37 change from Labour, plus 14 Reform, only plus 3 Lib Dems and plus 5 Green. This is indicative of an overwhelming right-leaning shift. Tories also lost 8. Tories aren't doing well either. They're out. They're fucking useless. Kemi Badenoch is useless, obviously. It's just, yeah. Overwhelming Labour defeat, though. And most curiously, there was not the pickup in the Lib Dems and the Greens that you would have expected. They're not doing the same thing that the right has done, which is moving towards restore and reform. This guy won, by the way. Spoon,
He's even one of the fake people.
What do you mean?
Because there was a whole bunch of like fake reform people.
No, this guy's real. This guy's real. I've looked into it. Spoon, I thought you'd find this actually entertaining, so here you go. Would you like to handle this one so I can have a little bit?
Reform investigated councillor who said Nigerians should be melted to fill potholes. Damn.
Look at this Chad.
Nazi haircut and all.
Yeah.
It's a reform candidate who said Nigerians should be melted down to fill in the potholes, absolutely based, is being investigated by the party just days after winning a seat. Fantastic. Glenn Gibbons, the new councillor for Hilton Castle Ward in Sunderland, had romped to victory in this, in this week's council elections, just one more than 1,450 new reform council seats across the country. In now deleted posts, he ranted on social media he can't believe the amount of Nigerians in town, and they should melt them all down and fill in the potholes. Gibbons also complained about women being on TV, based, calling Mel and Sue the two unfunniest fat repulsive lesbians host show ever. Let's see, he extended his views watching a rugby match for Ireland vs Japan. Yet another woman commentator, thank you! Thoroughly agree!
That's why I wanted you to read this article, Spoon. I knew, I knew you'd like this guy.
There must be 100 better male commentators, but had to give it to a female sick. Wish they could stick to cooking, sewing, and homemaking. Yeah, I will say that there is a female ref going about now. And when I watch rugby, I watch sports with men to get the fuck away from women. I do not care for a woman referee. I don't want to fucking hear a woman's opinion when it comes to commentary on a male sport. Fuck off.
How would you feel if there was? How would you feel if there was a woman commentator, but she didn't say anything and she was just wearing a like a bikini?
That's what the
commentary is audio.
No, but okay, it's on only visual broadcast, and she's just sitting on the side with her tits out.
No, fuck off.
I'm wondering where this...
You fucking homunculus.
No, I think that's actually pretty based as Spoon. That's a based answer.
No, I'm saying you are homunculus for...
I was curious as to if he would be okay if she was just sitting there with her jugs out. Spoon gave a based answer. Spoon gave the based answer.
Again, we already... The whole point of going to watch sport is to get away from women not contributing anything to society. What makes you want... We want an example of it there.
Based. Based. Good. Agree.
Your praise feels like ashes on my tongue.
I can't even, like...
No.
I was trying to show Spoon's virtue.
I'm here to
he demonstrated it correctly.
I'm here to sandbag everyone.
Let's see. Would you continue, please, sir?
Let's see. Speaking to BBC's Politics North, a deputy leader of Durham County Council, Darren Grimes, claimed Gibbons had been suspended from the party. Grimes said he's been suspended and the party is investigating those very serious allegations and will act on them. Oh, fucking faggots. He agreed it had been a failure. They're
quite literally winners right now, but anyway.
Yeah, I accept that. I do accept that, he said before swiping at anti-Semitism allegations against the Green Party.
That's a bit gay.
Ugh. Yeah, but a reformer spokesman told Metro the investigation is still ongoing. No decision has yet been made. Glenn was unhappy with Mel and Sue being on TV.
These are his tweets, and just so that you have them for posterity. We've already read them though. Whatever, they want to get rid of him, but investigation came after Richard Tice refused to directly criticize Gibbons, instead accusing the media of smearing his party. Asked for Mr. Gibbons' views represented in Reform UK, he said, "This weekend we are celebrating our incredible successes. Like any party, we have an internal party process to look where people have done or said the wrong thing." He continued, excuse me, "I condemn everything that is wrong, everything that is wrong and inappropriate. Voters have heard all this smearing and sneering against us. They've all voted for more reform." Another reform candidate who allegedly said that the Holocaust was a hoax also won a seat in local elections. Jay Cooper, who won one of 3 seats in the Sefton Council for Bootle West Ward, has been accused of spewing out conspiracy theories and labeling the genocide of millions of Jewish people propaganda. The Wow. The earlier social media comments made by the newly elected councillor from Merseyside Reform have come under scrutiny following his win with 705 votes. Just more of this guy's posts. Imagine if all the Sunder women now lived 120 years ago, they wouldn't get paid by people just to see how fat they were. Calling the women of Sunderland fat, how dare he?
It's called Sunderland for a reason, people.
In since deleted Facebook post made last September, Cooper referred to the death of U.S. right-wing activist Charlie Kirk with caption, "Heartbreaking, murdered for having an opinion," the Liverpool Echo reported. Wow. How terrible. The fuck? Comment made by another user said that Adolf Hitler had an opinion and asked, did he deserve to die? Coop responded, "I don't agree with him murdering innocent people, but the Holocaust is a hoax. There wasn't even 6 million Jews in Europe at the time. Propaganda." End quote. In January 2024,
Probably true, actually.
In January 2024, he shared a video suggesting that the 9/11 terror attacks in the U.S. were not real. I highly doubt that's how he phrased it. The video repost, which is still up on Cooper's profile, said, "Ultimate proof 9/11 is not what we thought it was." That he didn't say it wasn't real. He said it's not what you think it is. That's a different thing.
And just
That
on
is
the
a
off
different
chance that we
claim.
were about to get an actually based politician in, Reform had to immediately launch an internal fucking inquiry.
Right, they might
to
get...
kick him
I mean,
out.
I don't know if they'll get rid of these people or not, but they did elect some based people, to be honest. But because of the incredible losses for Labour, and because there also weren't pickups in the Lib Dems or the Greens, his massive calls now for Starmer to resign. 95 MPs are prepared to oust Starmer as potential leadership battle looms. It's at least, is it nine? This has happened. There's so many more of them jumping on the boat, on board with us every minute. That the
Look
articles,
at those 3 dysgenics.
I know. The article still says 93, but it's up to 95 now. At the time of writing, ITV News spoke to and tracked online 93 MPs who think the Prime Minister should immediately set out a timeline for his departure, and a further 2 believe he should leave if things do not improve. Oh, that's how you get to 95, okay. In a message sent to all... By the way, it was like... Yesterday alone, it went from like 60 to 80 to 85. Now it's 93. In a message sent to all 403 members of the Parliamentary Labour Party, ITV News asked whether, in the wake of a speech delivered by the PM on Monday, they still had confidence that Starmer was the right person to lead their party. In responses made publicly online and given directly to ITV News, more than 23% of Labour MPs said that they did not have confidence in Starmer. I mean, that's not huge, but it's a quarter, nearly.
It's not really saying much, though.
It's not. 4 ministers have tendered their resignations. Alex Davies-Jones announcing she was stepping down as the Victims Minister. Health Minister Zubir Ahmed following Jess Phillips, who Sargon certainly would never, ever, ever rape. And Miata Fambula out the door. So 4 have resigned, including Jess Phillips.
It is... If you felt that strongly about it, why didn't you like intercede when he was elected to begin head of your party to begin with, and then walked into the easiest fucking gig because of the fucking 0 seats bullshit? So I still think it's
Starmer Laughing Cavalier says that Starmer should hire Sargon to replace Jess Phillips as the ultimate revenge. That would be funny, but I think it's kind of going across party lines a bit. Sargon and
Sargon is natural habitat in a dying political system.
No, Lotus Eaters are they're local essentially at this point. They've made their claim that they are local Swindon representatives essentially of Restore. They've sided completely with Restore, which I think is based. People can criticize them for that, but they're open about it, and that's good. Fine.
Reset UKIP.
He did reset UKIP, but
if you have any fucking sense as a politician, keep Sargon the fuck away from yourself.
It's not worked out great in the past.
Yeah, he does have a really bad track record.
For a candidate to mount leadership challenge.
Dank how well it went.
Yeah. They would need 81 supporters to trigger a race, a contest Starmer said he would fight were to take place. Starmer has no... That's why people were memeing him into being like base fascist Chad, is because he just said basically, no, I'm not going to step down. Thus far, at least. So that's part of the meme and the main impetus behind it. Despite the number of MPs voicing their lack of confidence in the PM, and also, it's not just that. It's that the massive amount of immigrants who have come into the UK over the past decade came under Boris Johnson, a conservative. Yep. That was the Boris wave. Under Starmer, immigration has been down, particularly since last fall.
Okay, no, I'm sorry. To stop pretending this matters, because they're just going to shuffle into the new parties anyway.
I know they will. I'm just saying that's why people are saying, like, base Starmer, base Chad fascist Starmer. That's why they're doing that. One, because it's funny, and two, because, yeah, actually... also, he said that he won't allow any, basically, foreign agents to come to the totally astroturfed, totally not astroturfed, of course, and completely legitimate and not a government psyop Tama rally that's set to happen this weekend. The new Unite the Right rally, or Unite the Kingdom rally. Not the Unite the Right, that's a bit different. Unite the Kingdom rally, that's supposed to happen this weekend. More Thomas slop. For a candidate to mount leadership, got that. Despite the number of MPs, got that. ITV News understands that Health Secretary Wes Streeting may be the first to break ranks. He's probably most likely to be next in line for Labour leadership, but it looks like the raped male left is what happened. If you know what I mean. If you're familiar with the meme there. Let me bring it up just for posterity's sake. I'll need it later, either way, for when we watch that. A raped male leaves. No, I need the correct version of this fucking meme. The one where it says the raped one. There we go. Thank you. Copy image address. Thank you. This meme. This happened with Wes Streeting.
Oh, that, okay, yeah. I do know that one.
So, these were already mentioned, but the mass resignations begin, and I do want to bring up some of them in particular. This is Zubair Ahmed, and you'll notice one of the things that's interesting is some of the stuff that they bring up in terms of why they're leaving, and they can't be honest, which is just that Labour has just failed massively in local elections. I don't think this guy talks too much about it. I don't think he did. I did skim through all of these. The important one, though, let's just go to Jess Phillips, because we already talked about everybody who has resigned thus far. But Jess Phillips, this is a feminist, by the way. I mean, that's why Sargon said the things that he said about her. I mean, oof, what a picture, too, by the way. I want to be clear about why...
That's the face that says sometimes dead is better.
You would think...
Oh, god damn, that's fucking wrong.
You would think that as a feminist, right? As a lifelong feminist, that Jess Phillips would care about things like the massive grooming gang scandal, wherein a bunch of foreigners raped thousands of young English girls.
No, it was into the
Not
millions.
at the top of her priority, though.
It was into the millions.
But yes.
Why would it be?
Yes. But she's going to pretend like it is, but look at how it act. Oh my god, you can't make this shit up. Okay. Over a year ago, I presented solutions, long worked on by brilliant civil servants, that would end the ability for children in the UK to take naked pictures of themselves. 91% of online child sex abuse is self-generated by children groomed, tricked, and exploited into abuse. I agree, it's terrible. What's your solution? The technology exists to stop children being able to take naked images of themselves. We could make this possible on every phone and device in the country. We could stop this abuse. It has taken me a year to get you to even agree to get you to agree to even threaten to legislate in this space. Not legislate, just threaten. This is the definition of incremental change. Nothing bold about it. Understand what she's saying. Install spyware on every phone in the country under the auspices of preventing underage minors from taking photos and sending them to strangers. Now, I agree, that's terrible, and I don't know what you do about that. But what it's really about is installing spyware on everyone's phones, so that you can monitor every single fucking thing they do online, under the guise of protecting children.
A safety.
Yes. Doesn't give a shit about the grooming gangs. What she chooses to raise in her resignation letter is, you wouldn't let me install spyware on everyone's phones. There already is spyware on everyone's phones, by the government, in the UK in particular. But the concern of Jess wouldn't even rape you, Phillips, is you wouldn't let me install enough spyware to monitor what people's cameras are doing at all times, by the way.
Let me make it admissible in court instantaneously.
Yeah. Yep. That's what she cares about. Doesn't give a shit
We have to
about the
keep,
grooming
we have to
gangs.
keep up appearances and like work around the law rather than just having it
So
like later
disgusted by that in her fucking resignation letter. The rest were...
And she lost it.
Yeah. Like I said, though, let's not forget that the Tories lost as well. As I said, they didn't lose on the level that Labour lost, but They did as well, which was brought up here.
Mr. Speaker, let me also thank the Leader of the Opposition for the usual warm and generous nature of her contribution.
David Lammy, by the way, is a ride or die for Starmer, apparently. He's right there.
Well, yeah, because if he wasn't working for Starmer, it'd be in the fucking unemployment line with the rest of his family.
I mean, can we make fun of David Lammy for a minute?
He already does enough of it by himself. He doesn't.
Can I just want to play my favorite David Lammy clip. My favorite David Lammy clip. And there's so many. Him on Mastermind is awful. I mean, it's very bad, but my favorite one, it's this one. It's...
Whoever sent David Lammy to be on Mastermind was fucking with him directly. I'm sorry.
Like that was just cruel, wasn't it? Let me get the link. Yeah. This is my favorite David Lammy clip. And this guy's an absolute idiot. But this one, I think actually the cameraman did him dirty. This is so fucking funny.
If it feels like neighborhood policing has vanished, it's not around you. We haven't seen a police while I've been here, and I've been here for a little while now. We will make.
Oh, fuck. You haven't seen the police since you've been here. I've been here a little while. Who's unfamiliar? My American friends, for example, that is a police officer standing behind him. Now, if I go into my own folders and I type in is it Lammy if I type in raped? Will that work? This is probably it. No. If I type in sadly. No, you'll know. Yeah, it's called raped Lammy.
Sadly, you're raped. Sadly, you're raped.
Anyway.
In difficult days, her input is always a ray of sunshine. I'm particularly getting tips from her on how to win friends. This is from the person, Mr. Speaker, who previously called us orcs and goons. Mr. Speaker, I am a gooner.
Where's my triangle? I ordered a triangle, by the way. I did order a triangle. I got one. I ordered the triangle.
I told not to order the fucking triangle because we live in a residential area.
It's a tiny, tiny little triangle. It's a little itty bitty triangle.
Well, you better hope it's going to go directly up your ass.
No. Keir Starmer confirmed gooner. Confirmed gooner. Confirmed gooner.
And so, as usual, she is less than half right. But we do have one thing in common. Our parties both had tough results in the local elections last year.
Indeed.
The difference is...
way tougher for yours than the Tories. They've just been suffering for longer.
She hasn't noticed.
Yeah, we all know about the rent boys, Keir. Indeed. Simply Green. We know about the rent boys. We already knew you were a gooner. The Ukrainian rent boys.
Mr. Speaker...
No, a triangle so I can ring it at moments like that, like, you know, just stealing PvP shtick, which everyone is doing now, because it's
I didn't do enough of that already as it is.
Look, I think the triangle, when you have a moment like, we're all gooners, we're both gooners, that's a real woe buddy moment.
Mr. Spoon's not nearly Portuguese enough to pull this off. I'm sorry, we cannot go down this road of just LARPing as Kino Casino. We do not, because I'm fat.
No, Venti's got herself a triangle. A bunch of people have gotten themselves triangles.
She spoke to PvP directly and got his blessing directly. Don't fucking
Many people have gotten triangles. I constantly give big ups to the casino.
Like you very much.
I don't know anymore. I constantly give big ups to the casino. It is the most entertaining show on the internet right now, and oh whoa buddy, have the last couple
you
weeks.
cannot just give yourself a triangle. I'll award you that right. That's stolen clamor.
The Kino Casino is the funniest show on the internet,
dude. No question. Bill and I watch it. Bill and I watch it every time it's on. We watch. I mean, and they're like 11-hour long
comedy
streams.
has fallen fucking far.
No,
man.
dude, you're not gonna taste.
I don't find that show funny in the slightest.
No, there is no
like,
accounting
not
for taste.
even a little. Yeah, I agree. Which is why you don't have any.
That's the whole statement my stepmom makes very often. You can't argue taste, okay?
There's another difference, Mr. Speaker. We are in government, and they are no longer even the opposition.
Well, you're not the opposition anymore either, because you just lost a bunch of seats. So, but however, base Starmer appears to not give a flying fuck. Makes a dig at the name over 90 MPs.
Speaker, the gracious speech was brilliantly proposed by my honourable friend, the member for Bradford West. Yeah. Members across the House will have read her remarkable new book. Her list of endorsements is truly impressive, reaching well over 100 members. At last, Mr. Speaker, a list that we can all get behind.
I've never seen him act this human either. It's very bizarre. It's like he woke up. What's happening with Starbot?
No, I'm sorry. This is just people projecting the humanization of Jeb onto Starmer because he looks the exact same.
Maybe. So he also did this.
Same fucking person.
He barred. I mentioned this before, but he barred 7 people from coming to the UK for Thomas' new psyop. I mean, I'm sorry. Like,
based, actually.
Yes, it is kind of based. He banned foreigners from coming to this. What it is a honeypot. That's what these things are, which is why we've always said stay the fuck away from them. Some people have a
organized locally. Do not fuck about with these weird just mousetraps.
7 people hoping to attend a far-right rally in central London on Saturday, that is this upcoming Saturday, by the way, have been blocked from entering the country by Home Secretary Shabbat Mahmood. Keir Starmer, the PM, promised on Monday to block far-right agitators hoping to attend the Unite the Kingdom event on the 16th of May, organized by Thomas Robinson, which they will not miss a beat, always to remind you that his real name is Stephen Yaxley Lennon. Joey Manarino, a US-based commentator, and Valina Gomez, a MAGA influencer, had their authorization to enter the UK withdrawn on the grounds that their presence would not be conducive to the public good. The identities of the other 5 people are not known. Kind of based, honestly. I mean... And I would say...
the thing is, but Starmer being based by accident.
Yes, it's the Zog March. It's the Great Zog March,
You cannot afford to let your struggles against the horrors of fucking unrestrained migration be made a fucking vassalage to weird MAGA retardation.
Yeah.
Especially not now.
Just to show you the
map,
the
mainland is about
graph.
to get into full ball race war territory very, very soon if it keeps going the way it is. You cannot afford to be made a vassal state. You just cough fucking full bore into the microphone.
Sorry, I didn't do it on YouTube. I'm going to show you the map, though. Here is the map of immigration, net migration, specifically, down 2/3 under Keir Starmer. Look, you can see the Boris wave, and then you can see Keir Starmer. He has actually done better on this. I think me and Keir into being a, based fascist Chad is really funny. But this is also really funny. Which will last longer? Keir Starmer or a head of lettuce? Hang on.
Get Starmer.
We'll see. I think so too, though.
He's not going to go anywhere,
Yeah,
by
he's
the
not
way.
going anywhere.
Because where would he go? Also, who's exactly clamoring to replace him?
Exactly.
West Reading.
Congratulations,
West
here
Reading.
you go, sir. You get to be captain of the fucking sinking ship.
Yeah.
Here's the iceberg.
Anyway, so that's the meme, is it will last longer, Starmer ahead of lettuce. Okay, what are next? Yeah, he's just straight up refused to resign, which we've already kind of covered, and the memeing begins. Twitter's been full of stuff like this. We looked at some of them, but I think we can play this. It's Mike It's tons of shit like that, okay? But of course you do have Loyal Lammy. Low IQ Loyal Lammy.
Must put
country before party. The only person that benefits from the Labour Party navel-gazing in this way is Nigel Farage and the populist right. Keir Starmer was elected...
Oh, he won't say Rupert Lowe, will you?
Just under 2 years ago, with a mandate...
The whole thing keeping Lowe down is the fact no one knows who
Roman
he
Michigan, he says he wants to be in for another 10 years. It's his intent. So, yeah. Yeah. Of course he's doubly down on woke. It's just funny to meme him as a fascist.
People for 5
If Margaret Thatcher walked from her tomb, offered to replace Starmer, chances are the party would elect her as head of the Labour Party right
probably,
now.
yeah.
He has my full support. And what I say to colleagues is, look, let's just step back, take a breath. Let's remember that we have the King's Speech.
Which was not great. Charles is a WEF.
Fag.
Fag, yeah.
We are in government to do a job of work. It's been 24 hours now, and nobody has come forward to put themselves forward in the processes that exist in the party. No one seems to have the names to stand up against Keir Starmer, and for those
Wes Strading was hoping for that he did, and he got put in his place.
Those who are suggesting that he should stand down, they should say which candidate would be better. Let's get on with the business of running this country.
He has, I know he said he fully supports Wes Strading. It's only because Strading said that he was going to resign. And then Starmer came out and said, like, no, he supports him. So I do think Starmer probably is going to leave. But today it was really, really fucking funny to meme him as the eternal Starmer Reich. I do think it's probably likely that Starmer is going to be out. Speaking of, here's the. Do you think he's going to leave or not? He said he's adamantly
stay.
He's not going to. So this was Strading was going to go voice his concerns about this. He's going to walk in there and he's going to tell Starmer what's what. He was there for 16 minutes and he comes out looking a bit defeated. I think he got a walloping.
What did you say, Mr. Streeting?
Did you ask the Prime Minister to resign?
Are you going to resign, Mr. Streeting?
Do you want the job or not?
No, just let me finish this first.
I reiterate, by the way. Where is it? Oh, I got rid of it. Where's the raped male leaves? You know what I'm talking about. The raped male leaves. I already posted it, but, what the fuck? Now I can't find it. Oh, wait, actually. There it is. It's the defeated one. It's funny when it says raped. We already saw it. I can't find it again for some reason. The raped male leaves. This guy is like, has big aspirations to basically lead the Labour Party and be PM. And then, yes, I didn't know that. I did hear something about it right before the stream went live that, Starmer had endorsed him essentially and asked him not to leave. But he was preparing to resign on Thursday after talks with PM. Wes Strading met with Starmer for crunch talks that lasted less than 20 minutes this morning as the health secretary looks set to resign in a bid to trigger a leadership contest. The cabinet minister confronted the PM in Downing Street over this crisis engulfing Labour before the King's Speech on Wednesday is believed to have told allies he's preparing to quit the government on Thursday. Starmer managed to cling on to power and see if an immediate threat to his leadership on Tuesday, despite 4 ministers, some of whom were close to Mr. Strading, resigning, and at least 80 MPs, it's again over 90 now, demanding he stand down. Labour Party has descended into open division over his future, with more than 100 other MPs signing a statement backing him and warning this is no time for...
He can just say you and what fucking army.
Yeah, true.
There's no challenges to his reign. That's the
true.
problem.
He can. They can just do that. Again, 1,000-year
And he
Starmer
likely
Reich.
will.
1,000-year Starmer Reich.
It's like, you may hate me, but who else is going to take my fucking place? You don't even have a challenger, let alone someone who can.
This guy, Wes Strading, who is the raped male who left.
No.
No, he's not. By the way, Polanski's now apologized, because, like I said, the Greens didn't pick up what they were hoping to. And it's in part because Zach Polanski is a fucking terrible leader who is a complete and utter hypocrite. To the point where even I think that the left has a hard time accepting him. Because he doesn't pay his fucking council tax on his houseboat, which is why he lives on a houseboat in the first place. He doesn't have to pay fucking council tax. And he's just kind of like, oopsie, I may have failed to pay my council tax. No, you outright did. You didn't fucking pay it because you live in a houseboat. This is the guy is hoping to be PM. He has no fucking chance. Now the King's speech, speaking of, here's the things he chose to highlight. It was not that long. I listened to the whole thing this morning. These were really the key takeaways. Digital ID.
Unless Starmer gets rid of them.
Well, Rupert Lowe has said one of the first things that they will do is get rid of digital ID. I don't know if you can trust Rupert Lowe entirely, but he has made that statement on Twitter. Let me pull that up real quick, actually, because I don't have it in my doc, but I do have it on the Twitter. I need to give it a like. Where is Rupert Lowe?
I'll let the vid play in the meantime.
Yes, sorry.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Well,
no, it's dystopian. Fuck off.
It is. Rupert Lowe says a restored Britain government will scrap any form of mandatory digital ID.
Oh, fucking smash JT. Just shut the fuck up. He has nothing to do with England.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing here, though, dude? Like, I'm not even trying to be offensive, but like, what are you? Why? And this is really
he's a scrounging fucking parasite.
And the other thing he saw
Speaking
fit
of parasites,
to
the
mention,
Windsors.
Yeah, speaking of parasites, the other thing he saw fit to mention. This will fucking load. Twitter has this weird thing with videos sometimes.
An increasingly dangerous and volatile world threatens the United Kingdom, with the conflict in the Middle East only the most recent example. Every element of the nation's energy, defense, and economic security will be tested. My government will respond to this world with strength and aim to create a country that is fair for all.
Your government? Motherfucker, you don't have any legislative power. What the fucking hell are you talking about?
Technically,
you're a ceremonial king. You're
yes,
Kasha Kardashian.
But under the ceremony, all of the MPs serve at his discretion, because he can dissolve Parliament. The king has
he does
done
have to
that
sign off on every law that comes into use.
But he technically can do that. He does have that power. So it is his government under the ceremonial laws. Yes.
My ministers will take decisions that protect the energy, defense, and economic security of the United Kingdom for the long term. They will defend the British values of decency, tolerance, and respect for difference.
Yes, and that's also good to point out. Spoofers. The script was written by the government. The king did not write this himself. The government wrote this. Someone in the government wrote this.
Under our common flag. And they will harness the potential of the pride felt across this country for its communities. My government will take urgent action to tackle anti-Semitism and ensure all communities feel safe.
This was like a
the natives.
20-minute long speech, by the way, if that. Maybe 15. Make sure you have to get in there is that we gotta tackle anti-Semitism. I've got a couple more. This is still kind of breaking news in terms of what's happening with the massive calls for resignation of Starmer and the resignation of several Labour MPs. Yeah, it is smash cloud forming. We already watched the Gooner clip, so I actually had that twice. This one,
if off chance one of Charles's aides is watching this, inform him that his father would be fucking ashamed of him.
Indeed. But speaking of gooning, this is just fucking disgusting. But of course, Britain's first gay surrogate parent charged with R-word and human trafficking. Wow.
No, remotely surprised about that.
I'm not gonna go into it. I don't want to. But some more gay shit is this shitty game Mixtape, which you can see has pretty positive reviews from
Depression Quest 3.
Yeah, Depression Quest 3. Generally favorable, 85 score on Metacritic based on the critic reviews. Now the user's not so great, 6.3.
And that's with them like deleting fucking.
Of course, like, Metacritic does delete negative, yes, because of brigading. But let me show you the gameplay of this game if you've not seen it. It's brilliant. It's really.
I described it as Rebecca Black's Friday, but for video games, it is some bigwigs, someone with more money than God who has paid to have their insufferable brain-dead child's work first made and then published.
Yeah, here's the gameplay.
Where's the gameplay?
I'm not doing anything. Hands free, by the way. Hands free, by the way. The game plays itself.
He'll
Hands free.
Gameplay where his one eye's watching one quadrant, one eye the other.
I know.
Man's built like a Brazilian. He's got prey animal eyes.
There's no game here. Hands free. Don't even have...
One thing you'll notice, and the reason I have to pause here, is that there is copyrighted music all throughout this game. They got big names, big bands, big tracks.
Shit that got Kojima shit canned.
Yeah, well, the shit that got Kojima shit canned from Konami because he blew millions and millions of dollars on the soundtracks for well, specifically for Metal Gear Solid 5. I mean, Metal Gear Solid 5 has a fantastic soundtrack. Nuclear.
And nothing else. Literally nothing else.
Oh no, there's
Jugs
good
as well.
gameplay. There is good gameplay in Metal Gear Solid 5. It's the story that suffers in MGS5. The gameplay's fantastic. The engine's great. It's a very good game, but the reason the story doesn't work.
It's so good that they used it for pachinko machines. And
the reason
else.
the story didn't work is because Kojima dicked around spending a bunch of Konami's money on getting licensed fucking copyrighted music instead of finishing the fucking story. Wasted so much of Konami's money. He always does shit like that, though. Kojimbo, you dick.
Just make Metal Gear Acid 3 already.
Yeah, make
Just
Metal Gear
put us
Acid
all out
3.
of my misery.
You don't even have to play it.
You didn't play that shit, you know.
Oh my god.
No, I've not played Metal Gear Acid, but he should make that instead, because those games are insane from what I know about the lore.
Don't even have to play it. Don't even have to play it. Wow.
In other words, this game is... I guess it's just a visual novel. From the looks of it, it appears to be predominantly a visual novel. You don't fucking do much of anything. It plays itself. It also is made by, I guess, millennials, like younger millennials who don't know how cassettes work, but the game is called Mixtape, and it's about a mixtape, or it's part of the story, but they don't know how cassette tapes work. Also,
and it's set in the 90s when
yes.
when CDs would have been prevalent.
Yes. Also, they're doing this low frame rate thing, which has looked cool in some movies, like in Puss in Boots. It looked really, really good when they had the action scenes and they slowed the frame rate. It looked really fucking cool. But the whole game is in a low frame rate, which just looks weird, in my opinion. Yeah, we'll get to that, Reggie. This is a rich brat's ego project, and it's not just any rich brat's ego project.
Ah, come on.
This is...
Okay, that's a thing.
Like, anyone who has any basic knowledge of physics would know, you can't turn them on the right and turn them on the left.
This should do it.
That's not how cassettes work. And then...
It's one direction.
Yeah.
My first kiss was with Colin Bruce. I didn't like...
It's...
What?
The name.
I'd like to point out that we flayed fucking Life is Strange alive for a Final Fantasy Spirits Within reference, which this is essentially that but worse somehow.
No, this is the article I mentioned earlier.
We have scraped through the bottom of the barrel. We're digging beneath the fucking pub.
So, this... We
are going to start hitting dead hookers before long.
Yeah.
They're that low beneath the barrel.
So, this PC Gamer article... Mixtape is at the center of another tedious cultural war discourse, and I think I know why.
You want to go down this road again, PC Gamer? I don't think that Zoe Quinn's got enough ex-boyfriends that can kill themselves to fulfill the quotas this time round.
This is from Harvey Randall, and he says... So, Mixtape. In case you've been wisely keeping out of the loop, Mixtape released last week to a series of rave reviews online. I went ahead and played it. Well, you didn't play it because it's not a game. Giving it a 74 on our Mixtape review, which I would like to take a moment to remind people is a good score. Just reminding you that 74 is a really good score. It's not. But it didn't connect with me in the same way as other reviewers.
It's alright.
It's yeah. Honestly, yeah. It's meh. I think. But just running in the list, IGN gave it a 10, alongside VGC's 5-star review. GameSpot gave it a 9, Nintendo Life gave it a 9. It's been incredibly well received, is what I'm saying. Others, like our friends at Games Radar Plus, gave it 4 stars, a little more in line with the mixed bag I denoted it as. Rather than a game simply allowed to release and be somewhat divisive, however, Mixtape has found itself in the unenviable position of being wrapped up in another one of those tedious culture war things. Except for here's the culture war thing that it's involved in. This is a game made for leftoids, right? Clearly, okay? But it is the Vanity project. And watch, this is where he has to get into it. Now, some critiques leveled at what are somewhat rooted in reasonable stances. Annapurna Interactive, which published the game, rather than developed it, was founded by Megan Ellison, the daughter of billionaire and Oracle CEO Larry Ellison, who, among other things, he is a billionaire. He's actually a centi-billionaire. He's one of the richest people on Earth. Has been vocally and financially supportive of the Israeli Defense Forces. If you don't want to put money towards Annapurna on those grounds, then hey, fair enough. I wouldn't resent anybody for doing that any more than I would say boycotting Microsoft over it. This is so much sweeping, though. He had to acknowledge that a massive, mega, ultra Israeli donor, Larry Ellison's daughter, and using the Ellison family fortune, made this game. But now he has to kind of walk it back, but like, actually, even though it's totally astroturfed and this game is a bunch of fucking bullshit that is funded by people who give a bunch of money to Israel, which we all are supposed to hate on the left, and we're very actively anti-Israel right now. But here's why you should ignore all of that. Just, I can understand it, but could you put it to the side, please? Everyone has a right to decide where their money does and doesn't go. What doesn't make sense to me are the accusation that this is evidence that Mixtape has somehow been astroturfed for positive reviews. What the fuck? You idiot? What do you mean? You've got one of the richest people on Earth whose daughter is therefore by proxy one of the richest people on Earth is behind it. Larry Ellison gives a huge amount of money to Israel. That's why people, even on the left, don't want this shit. And why, yes, it is overwhelmingly obvious that the reviews are astroturfed. It's not a game. It is a vanity project made by someone that people in your sphere, who the game is aimed at, should be politically against because of how much money the people behind it have given to the Israeli government. And specifically, the Israeli Defense Force. Like, this game is... There have been many, many games and movies and TV shows over the years that are made for no one. This truly is made for no one. It appeals to no one normal, it appeals to no one on the right wing, and it doesn't appeal to a large majority of anyone on the left wing at this point, because of who made it. It is legitimately a vanity project made for no one. It's very funny, though. It looks like a completely abysmal game. That is the end of my stuff, by the way. I have two little stories from Japan. One, which is that...
It's about racism.
Yes. Thousands of Japanese citizens have gathered to protest the construction of the first mosque in Fujisawa, right outside of Tokyo.
Why on earth is there a mosque in fucking Tokyo?
Not yet. There isn't one yet. They're trying to stop it.
Jews.
Yeah.
Well, Japan has a major shortage of space, and they cremate their dead specifically because of the historical lack of space for cemeteries.
Yes.
It's actually a very sizable taboo to have graveyards with actual corpses on because of a theme of spiritual uncleanliness.
Yes. Well, in regardless of whatever faith Japanese people have, there's a culture that is based around Shintoism that is very, very much about cleanliness. Cleanliness for everything. Very, very much about cleanliness. That's why they're weird about smells. That also has to do with the Japanese people's DNA being very, very low in the gene that is responsible for stinky sweat and earwax. East Asians in general are very unlikely to have that gene. So that's why you'll see Westerners go to Japan, and there will be Japanese people who just hold their nose in front of you. Also, they don't sell deodorant typically in Japan because they don't sweat, and they don't have stinky sweat.
Well, never go to Japan because I'll fucking dissolve.
Every Westerner I've ever known who's lived in or been to Japan says just be prepared to bring, and then if you live there, to order in deodorant because it's difficult to find. So yeah, Asian flushes, Asians, you're talking about alcohol. that's another gene that they possess where they're far more likely to flush red when they drink alcohol, for example.
Alcohol flush syndrome, which is what Markiplier has, I believe.
Yeah, he's Asian. There's deodorant cream. I've heard that, yeah, they don't, their earwax consistency is different. Yeah. Very dry. It's dry earwax. Non-Asians are more likely to have wet earwax, you know, what I imagine most of us have, but East Asians in particular tend to have, and particularly the Japanese, they do sell deodorant. I've heard everyone I've known who's lived in or been to Japan says it's difficult to find. I'm sure you can get it somewhere, but I've heard that the stuff that they do sell, oh, it's alcohol based. Okay, so they do sell it. It's just maybe stuff that doesn't work great, maybe for Westerners. You get the picture, which is, I'm glad for the Japanese for sticking up for themselves and saying, fuck no, don't build mosques here. I'm also very proud of Asians for another reason, which is that in Singapore, they beat the shit out of Amos Yee. Now, if you don't remember who Amos Yee is a guy who...
Nonce.
A guy Count Dankula even had on his show at one point, because Amos Yee framed all this stuff about him, that he was being abused, he was just a free speech advocate, and they were going to send him back to, I thought it was Malaysia, but to Singapore. They do sell this stuff in the USA? Just a gel alcohol. Okay. I don't know. The people I talk to who live in Japan, then they're...
the formulation will be more geared toward the type of sweat they have rather than us.
Yeah, whatever. They do have it.
Much
it
like
is
how
genetic. The gene is like, oh man. I mean, I can just look it up.
Let's not get hung up on the small things.
It's true though. Like, I mean, I've posted about it on Twitter, and I've done videos where I mentioned it before. Just the roller thing. Okay. I don't know. Well, maybe they sell it now more. Maybe a lot of this was in the past.
I just use a magic stone.
You use a magic stone to deal with your sweat? What does that mean? You cast a spell on your pits?
No, it's literally a deodorant stone.
Okay. So Amos Yee, again, basically framed himself on the internet as like a free speech warrior, and that he was just saying edgy ideas. No, he's a fucking nonce. People crowdfunded enormous amounts of money to bring him to the West so that he could be saved from the tyrannical governments of the East for silencing his free speech. Well, he's been deported. He was deported last year, I believe. He's back in Singapore, and he decided to go to an anime convention. This guy, it is unquestionable. If you want to go down a really nightmarish route, you can look up the things that Amos Yee has said about infants, for example. Okay? This guy's a nonce. He's a freak, and he abused...
He should not have been allowed at a convention that has children at it.
He abused and took advantage of the goodwill of people like Count Dankula to shill his noncery as free speech. Many, many such cases among libertarians, right? But recently he went to an anime convention in Singapore, and this happened.
Oh, wait, what's happening?
Fake weeb! Fake! That is a Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, it is Jujutsu Kaisen. Yeah, it is. I saw the chat. You're right, it is Jujutsu Kaisen. No.
Oh, also, yeah, someone pointed out there is a Library of Ruin cosplayer, the Graveyard of Butterflies. So the whole time Amashi is getting his shit ruined, he stands up and the first thing he sees is someone there holding a coffin lid. Yeah, see, keep the fucking...
Oh my god, yeah.
Oh, we're going round two, bitch. We're just throwing elbows.
I probably said, like, dude, that guy's a pedophile, you know?
Oh shit.
I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Go ahead.
Became the best time ever.
Nah, someone had to fucking... No good deed goes in uninterrupted.
So there's some good news. And I didn't play this clip earlier, but this is my last clip of the night, my last little bit. And we're right about at 11:30, so good. We'll be out on time. Which is to Amos Yee. I agree with Sir Keir here.
Fuck off.
Wait, sorry, one more time. Oh,
fuck off.
There you go. That's it, friends.
He said that with some gusto.
He did say that with some gusto.
Now he's got some basins as well, so.
True. All right, friendos, that is the stream for the evening. I will hopefully have my videos out relatively soon, at least the new one that is completely done we'll do a watch together on my Discord sometime this week either way. We'll make sure to get that, I'll get that set up. I'll leave, if you're a member of the Discord, which you can find linked in the description below, go ahead and join the Discord if you're not already a member. I will ping over on Broken Crown, the Broken Crown Discord, to let you know when I do decide to do a preview screening of the new video. And then it'll be out hopefully soon, as soon as I can hear back from one of my like 3 sponsors I'm talking to take this spot. Yeah, check out my new Substack article, again linked in the description. If you want to look at that. Do you have anything you want to promote, Spoon?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
I first have my second power back now, so.
Right. Yeah, you haven't been able to work for the last couple days. Yeah.
I might do an unusual video that I don't normally do, but it's about one of the Assassin's Creed characters.
Oh yes. What's his name again from Assassin's Creed 3?
Haytham Kenway. Because I feel out of all the so-called villains, he's the most elite theory-driven one. Because he says some really, really base things when he's fighting Connor.
Yes, you've shown me the fight scene, and I've played
freedom
Assassin's
is an
Creed 3.
invitation to chaos. And
Assassin's Creed 3 is one of the few Assassin's Creeds that I've actually beaten all the way through. That it held my attention.
I stopped playing Assassin's Creed 3 really early on because I played it for a short stint, and then I went away from the game, and I came back, and the game had skipped ahead in the mission to a checkpoint I hadn't reached. So I was like, maybe I'll leave this one.
Anywho, guys, I think that's it. Yeah, look out for Spoon's new video. I'm sure that actually will be very interesting, Spoon. Check out my Substack, and prepare at some point for a new main channel video that I'm just waiting for a sponsor to take a spot on. And then I have the new video on the water level task as well, about what happens when you rotate a glass of water and women can't get it right. Anywho, that's it for us for tonight. I'm feeling very positive about British politics, at least right now, in general. I'm feeling very positive. I know that electoral politics is all fake and gay, but I'm feeling a little white-pilled. And I hope you feel a little white-pilled too, maybe. All right, we'll see you next week, friends. Cheers. Good night. And bye-bye. Damn. There we go.